on an unseasonably warm night here in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're actually in Matthews, North Carolina tonight, just east of South Charlotte, and what a night it's going to be. This to decide who comes away with the crown, the Southwestern 4A crown, as we get ready for the season finale here in 2023 of our Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series, powered by Ortho Carolina, as we get ready for Independence at 7-2 and Butler at 8-1. Two teams with a lot of history facing off again with a title on the line on a perfect 71-degree late October night. Hello again, everyone. Glad to have you back in. Corey Hodges, Armand Brody, Jay Bell, our entire team here with you tonight. And Armand, the temperature, the unseasonably warm temperature, not the only story. Yes, it doesn't feel like a couple days before Halloween at all, but what it does feel like is a heavyweight fight kind of night, Friday night fights. This is the football version of that as we get set to see Butler and Independence go at it. Our second time this season seeing DJ McFadden's Independence Patriots, and for Butler, of course, under the leadership of 20-year head man Brian Hales. This is going to be an exciting game, a game with a lot on the line, and no doubt history abound between these two teams, and they know almost too much about each other.
So a confession.
Yes.
We get our schedules during the summertime.
Yeah.
So this is not a college game day week-to-week type deal. And when we got our schedules initially, I noticed that we had Independence twice. And I said, oh, that's interesting. But I am so glad that we ended up with Independence twice, particularly under these circumstances. So what's on the line here? This is not some ordinary football game, and both teams know that. Let's just give you an example, a taste of what's on the line here in this game. Number one, it is Independence and Butler. This is a rivalry. Now, granted, 18 of the last 20 have been won by Butler, but Independence won last year, and Butler has revenge on their minds. That's number one. Number two, it's senior night. They just got done honoring 30 senior Butler Bulldog players just a few moments ago before we came on air. That's number two. Number three, I mentioned Butler's looking for this revenge after the 27-21 loss at Independence last year. Number four, Butler's on a huge winning streak. They've won their last 8 games. Meanwhile, Independence has won its last 6 games, including the game we saw at Charlotte Catholic last month. And oh, by the way, there just so happens to be this thing called the Southwestern 4A Conference Championship on the line. They shared the title with Charlotte Catholic last year, but there is no sharing this year. The winner of this game is hands down the champion of Southwestern 4A, and these teams know it. And when we spoke with both coaches, Brian Hales on the Butler side and spoke with Independence head coach DJ McFadden, they know, and I appreciated the fact that they acknowledge this is not a regular football game. We're not going to treat it as such. And DJ McFadden said, we're taking everything personal this week. I love the conversations we had with both these guys because they understand how important this game is.
You said it, as you always do, Armand, perfectly, because you really couldn't have two coaches with different personalities in a way. DJ McFadden, of course, with his time as a player with Independence, and of course he was in that Chris Leak era, and McFadden now head man at 34 years old. Then of course on the other side, of course McFadden, very outspoken, very he will always stand up for his team. On the other side, of course, is Brian Hales, someone who kind of gives off that air of, I've been there, I've done that, really laid back, and you expressed it really perfectly, Armand, when we were just getting set up for tonight's broadcast. He's someone who is disarming, and he is in his interviews and also in his coaching style, but make no bones about it, as they say. These two coaches know what's at stake tonight, and that is that 4A crown in the Southwestern portion of it. And as the teams are coming out and this crowd is ready to go, and I know we've got your keys to the game here in a moment, Armand, but I really couldn't think of a better matchup to kind of close down our 5-game slate this fall.
There are so many storylines to talk about, including this tidbit.
Yeah.
So DJ McFadden is in his 3rd year as the head coach of Independence. He was on the Butler staff just a few years ago during the COVID season.
Right.
And when we spoke with Brian Hales about that, he said, man, I told DJ, I said, I'll do anything you need me to do for you 51 weeks out of the year. But when Independence and Butler get together, he said, these are his exact words. He says, you can kick rocks. It was an awesome quote. And it really gives you an idea of how intense this rivalry is.
That's great. I can hear Hales saying that right now. I went back and watched the Zoom, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's Brian Hales. Totally. I totally understand it. Both teams are coming out. The captains are coming out to meet at midfield. I think it's just about that time, Armand, for your keys to the game here as well as we get, we're about 5-6 minutes away from kickoff. What are you going to have your eyes on tonight in our season finale? Let's
do it, Corey Hodges. Ortho Carolina keys to the game. We have 3 of them. And this is so interesting as the crowd boos the entrance of Independence to our left here. Let's take a look at this. I just want to watch this here. And the Independence Patriots, they know they're in hostile territory here as they get ready to bust through that Indy Patriots banner. This is a real rivalry, folks. I'm trying to tell you. No better way to end the Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series 2023, powered by Ortho Carolina. Before we get to the keys, I just want to watch the entrance here and listen to the crowd's reaction. This place is jam-packed. Not a seat to be had here at this stadium tonight. The Independence section is full on the other side.
It's so jammed, Armand, I barely have any 5G service. Everyone sucked all the bandwidth away. That's how packed it is. That's when you know it's packed.
Butler's getting set on the right side to our right, and Independence is getting set to our left. Butler in the red, Independence in the white and gold. Oh man, the atmosphere is electric in here, Corey. I just want to take a moment to soak this in because this is what a championship game looks like, feels like. Here comes Independence. Vociferous boos from Butler section. And Independence section's pretty loaded over there as well. Oh, the Butler Bulldogs are about to take the field to a raucous reception. Look and listen, folks. Banner high. Now let's get to those Ortho Carolina keys to the game. Number 1, settle down. There is so much emotion in this building right now, so much energy. It's senior night, it's Independence Butler. There's a conference championship on the line. You can feel it at home, I'm sure, and these fans certainly feel it. And because of that, these teams will have to settle into this game emotionally. That means that we may see some penalties, we may see some jawing, some talking, some personal fouls, some sportsmanlike conduct type stuff early. But both these teams have to settle into this game. Number 2, guard the rock. 2 turnovers from Butler quarterback Zach Lawrence in the second half last year. A key reason Independence was able to win that ball game 27-21. Protect the football in this game. The team that is most successful at that is probably going to come away with the win. And number 3, winning calls and winning plays. When we talked with both coaches, in particular DJ McFadden of Independence, he said this is an evenly matched game. And because of that, who's going to make the winning play call? I'm talking about the 4th and 1 QB sneak, or the 4th and 1 quarterback rollout, or whatever that big play is, the Philly special type play that ends up winning a championship for you. The big blitz that happens just at the perfect time to force a hurry throw. Who's going to make that play? And then the winning, who's going to make that call? And then the winning play. Who makes the spectacular catch? Who makes the big run? Who makes the tip that ends up in an incompletion on a 3rd down? Those are going to be the determining factors in this game as Independence gets set to kick it away to Butler.
Okay, the Ortho Carolina keys to the game, and that sets the stage for everything here tonight. Independence will kick off to Butler. So Butler, the home team, will get the football first as Lyric Copera will kick it away, and off we go. 2 minutes early at 6:58 from Matthews, North Carolina. Two teams battling for this Southwestern 4A crown, and it starts off with a return by Butler's DeQuandre Currents, and Currents trying to find some room, and here comes Butler and the Bulldogs ready to come out following the Currents return.
North Carolina instant replay. He makes a great cut. He's so fast, DeQuandre Currents is. You're going to see so much of him tonight. They just want him to touch the ball. When he touches it, magical things happen for Butler's offense.
DeQuandre Currents averages about 46 receiving yards per game. That time he got it out to the 30-yard line on a nice return. 1st and 10 from the 30 with just 7 seconds gone in this one. Running play to start for Butler. Gets about 5 yards to set up 2nd and 5 coming up following that Jaden Williams run, the 5'9", 200-pound junior running back.
Jaden Williams was one of the guys that DJ McFadden said, we've got to stop him because they used Jaden to set up the passing game.
Williams, he averages almost 81 yards per game on the ground. 2nd and 5. This time Williams goes in motion, and it's 4 wide here for Butler. Dropping, looking, finding Jonah Bright on that throw by Zach Lawrence. Bright has a first down, gets close to midfield, and moves the sticks for Butler.
They sent the running back out of the backfield. North Carolina instant replay. Just find him in the flat, and he picks up the first down just past midfield.
We'll have it now at the 49, 1 yard to the good inside of Independence territory on that gain of 14 by Jonah Bright. Handoff goes to DeQuandre Currents. Currents on the end around. Gets to the 45 of Independence. Picks up about 4 there. 2nd and 6 coming up.
You know, it's still Butler, and they run that wing T. We saw it last year when Butler played at Myers Park.
Yeah.
It's been a hallmark of this team for many, many years, and Brian Hills is in his 20th year at the school and his 13th year as the head coach. He's not going to change up anything too much.
Yeah, even Hale saying it's a little bit of change from last year to now, but usually that only happens with a difference of personnel. Otherwise, what we run is what we run. 2nd and 6 from the 45. Butler on the move. Here's Lawrence with plenty of time. Fires it incomplete, out of bounds. 3rd down coming up. He had a look at Currents, but Currents was guarded well by Independence. On the coverage was Quentin Reddish.
Yeah, Quentin Reddish, these Reddish brothers, we saw them against Charlotte Catholic. Quentin Reddish and Nick Reddish, and those 2 interceptions that I mentioned last year, both from Quentin Reddish of Independence.
He's the one that makes the stop there and forces the incompletion. 3rd and 6 from the 45, and Independence trying to stall this drive out just into their territory.
Don't be surprised if you see a blitz from Independence. That was one of the things DJ McFadden told us during the week. We believe we can do a job of getting to Zach Lawrence, and if we do that, we feel like we can slow him down.
Lawrence on 3rd and 6. The pressure gets Lawrence. Chris Clark, a bowling ball, and he bowls a perfect strike and gets a sack on Lawrence. 4th down.
Take a look at Keegan Quigley, who was in there as well. North Carolina instant replay. What did I say? They want a blitz. They did it last year. DJ McFadden and the coaching staff felt that it was successful. And if you can get to Lawrence and rattle him some by bringing extra defenders, Independence feels their defense can have some success tonight.
Now the snap is high, and it's over the head of Konazinski, who is able to get a foot on it eventually, and it bounces at around the 33-yard line, and so that was a miraculous recovery as that one went sky high over the head of Nicholas Konazinski, the senior kicker and punter. That could have been total disaster. Good salvage job by Konazinski.
You want to talk about leadership?
No kidding.
And quick decision making? That could have been a total disaster for Butler. But heads up play by Konazinski, not just being able to gather it, but get off a decent punt under the circumstances. Well done.
Well, here comes Independence. And these Patriots, we saw them earlier this season when Independence was at Charlotte Catholic. That was game 3 of our Charlotte High School football rivalry series. That seems to have been the turning point this season for Independence in that game. They'll start their first drive of the night at the 34-yard line. Just a little. That dynamic quarterback will hand off to Jaden Jones, a dynamic back himself, but Jones trying to get past the 35-yard line and try to at least get about 2 yards out of this. He gets a late push, second down after the small gain.
You're looking at Tyquan Rankin, number 9, in there on the stop for Butler's defense. He is a senior, returning defensive player of the year in the conference. He is superb.
1 yard gain that time for Jones, who comes in over 1,000 yards on the season and 12 touchdowns. 2nd and 9.
He did that in just 6 games, too, by the way, Corey.
Yeah.
Missed 3.
Yeah, that's what McFadden was telling us earlier in the week on Zoom. If he had a full complement of games and snaps, he'd be over 2,000 yards. Here's Little, bit of a high snap. Little hangs in, steps up. Little goes down. 2 bringing the pressure for Butler. And the one to finish him off was Curtis Pierce, and it's 3rd down.
This Butler defense is playing with such aggressiveness right now. They've got tons of energy, and they're feeding off the energy from this crowd early in this first quarter.
Pierce coming in with 28 total tackles on the season. Got some pressure on the quarterback. Pierce also picking up part of a sack there. Came in with 1 on the season. 3rd and 10 for Independence. Little drops, hangs in, floats it, incomplete, as Little was looking for Jones out of the backfield, and it's 4th down, and Independence will punt.
And that just gives this crowd and it gives this Butler team that much more of an emotional edge to get Independence off the field. How about these balls rolling Butler's way? Konazinski bails them out after the bad snap, and then they force the quick stop of Independence's offense to get the ball right back.
So Copera is back to punt. DeQuandre Currents waiting at about the 35-yard line for the upcoming return. He hopes he can have a chance to get his hands on it here. 8:25 to go in this opening quarter. Both teams have had it once, and both teams have punted, or at least we may have a second try at this punt. We've got a penalty marker down. It's right over there in the region of Currents.
Delay a game.
Yeah.
Independence.
It'll make Copera's job 5 yards tougher here on the upcoming punt. Copera this season in terms of punting, coming in with 5 punts inside the 20-yard line, a long punt of 61, and close to about 900 total punt yards this season for Lyric Copera. Currents moves up around the 42-yard line. He kind of backs up a bit just south of the 40. Here's Copera angling himself to send it towards the returner, but it took a bounce negatively towards Independence, and so that's about 5 extra yards on the ricochet. Ortho Carolina has urgent care options that focus on orthopedic injuries such as sprains, fractures, strains, also dislocations. You can count on Ortho Carolina to be the more efficient, reliable, just plain better choice when it comes to your care needs. Walk-ins are welcome at Ortho Carolina's 9 orthopedic urgent care locations. You can learn more at orthocarolina.com. 1st and 10 from the 40 as Butler has it for the second time tonight. Both teams have punted. We're scoreless. 8:11 to go in the first. Here's Lawrence, quick hitter, close to midfield, out of bounds, maybe a yard short of the midfield mark is Phil Harris, the 6'2 senior, on the catch from the pass from Lawrence.
I like that play call. Harris, wide receiver and DB. Good size, a good height at 6'2", 190 pounds. Ortho Carolina instant replay. A quick hitter to the outside, and Harris can find enough room for the first down up to the 50-yard line.
Yeah, gave enough to Harris for that first down, so it's smack dab at midfield here for Butler. 1st and 10 from the 50. Harris coming in, just 3 catches on the season, 23 yards, but has a touchdown. So that was just his 4th catch of the year. Running play after that first down pickup, gets not much on the give, maybe a yard. Let's see where they eventually mark it on the carry by Williams. Looks like Williams will give him a couple more yards, maybe about 3 that time. 2nd and 7.
Well done by this Independence defense, and a defense they were relied heavily upon when the season started. And DJ McFadden told his group, he said, until our offense catches up, we're going to need to lean on you guys. And that defense did the job to start the year.
2nd and 7 from the 47. Here's Lawrence finding some space. That one is dropped. Lawrence had his eyes on Cam Macon, the 5'11 senior wideout, but Macon dropped it 3rd down.
North Carolina instant replay. It's right there for Macon. Now the coverage is there. An immediate hit was brought as the ball touched Macon's hands by Bryce Lofton, number 6. But that's one that you hope you can bring in there if you're the wide receiver quarterback connection.
Macon 12 catches, 185 yards this season for the senior wide receiver. 3rd and 7, another 3rd down. We've had a handful of them already. And Butler trying to avoid another 4th down posting.
Right tackle moved early on the offensive line there.
It's going to be 3rd and 12.
That is Gabe Hernandez, number 74, 6'3" junior lineman who moved early on that right side. Wonder if nerves have a little bit to do with that.
It could go back to Armand, to the drop by Macon as well. I think the atmosphere of this game, it changes things. 3rd and 12. See if Lawrence can handle the pressure. Lawrence finds space over the middle, hooks up with Currents. Currents finds room on the outside, has a blocker. Currents gets inside the 10-yard line, and here's Butler set up in the green zone. 1st and goal coming up.
What a job by Zach Lawrence. Ortho Carolina instant replay. What a job. He's got to get that ball past number 4, Dallas Brandon, the linebacker, and he just zips it by him to hook up with DeQuandre Currents for that 1st down.
Currents over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns coming in, and he makes the play of the game so far. At the 10-yard line, 1st and goal here for Butler. Closing in on the 7-minute to go mark of this opening quarter, and the Bulldogs trying to strike first. Some shifting on that line, couple players in motion.
I don't think they got the playoff in time, Corey.
I think that play clock was running short.
Yep, delay a game.
Called it. There's a lot of pre-snap motion, which is a trademark of Butler, we know. That time maybe couldn't get it all in before the end of the clock.
A little too much window dressing that time. Got to get the snap off in time.
Still 1st and goal, but now from the 15-yard line. And here's Butler trying to get some of the penalty yardage back. They'll just keep it on the ground this time. Little extra afterwards. Thrown down was Williams by Skylar Murray. Crowd murmuring, wanting a flag. No flag given.
They'd like the block on the outside by number 43, Maddox Williams. You're looking at him right now. He's coming out of the game. Butler does so much pre-snap, as you said, Corey, and Zach Lawrence, it's one of his strengths as a quarterback. He can read what's going on pre-snap, gives him so much confidence once the ball is brought to him from the center.
Yeah, Lawrence just lauded by his head coach, Brian Hales, just loves how he can take a play that's maybe not called correctly. He can fix it pre-snap. He's the ultimate kind of fixer-upper there at quarterback. Here's Lawrence, fires it. There's a block hitting the pylon. Touchdown, Butler, as the Bulldogs get on the board first tonight. And that's Cam Macon, who had the drop earlier in the drive. Macon rebounds, had a block, broke the plane. 6 points for Butler. They strike first.
And if you're a Butler fan, you've got to love that for Cam Macon. He's been battling injuries all year. Wrist injury, then a knee injury, and he's not even 100% tonight. But he's been fighting through every week, and he gets the touchdown here for the 1st points of the game.
Has to make him feel so good after that drop.
Some more movement here by Butler.
Konozinski set up for the extra point. That's going to move his extra point try back 5 yards. So that could be the early situation to watch. Penalties in this game and all this negative yardage so far that hasn't affected Butler on the scoreboard. They lead it 6-0. Konozinski trying to make it 7-0, but keep in mind those flags. Konozinski rips it 7-0. Butler on Cam Macon's first touchdown of the season. The Bulldogs lead it in the title game early, 7-0 over Independence.
That's a great start for Butler. They get the stops. They pick up a rhythm offensively. And even with the penalties, just a great play call. This offensive staff, Brian Hales, they have so much confidence. And really, I wasn't surprised by it, but I was struck by just how much confidence both coaches had coming into this football game. They were as cool as cucumbers. And it's because they have confidence in the teams that they built and the camaraderie and the chemistry that these teams have built over the course of the season. It was pretty refreshing to hear both coaches not show nerves or not show signs of being concerned about their team's performance, understanding that it's a rivalry game, understanding that a conference title is on the line, but there was really a lot of confidence on both sides.
There was the juxtaposition of personalities, of course, but in terms of both teams being confident coming in and really happy to look back on their body of work coming into this title game and say, we're here for a reason. And of course, Butler, the home team, wants their crack at this. Here's Konosinski on the tee and sends it away with his team up 7-0. That's a touchback to the elation of this packed house. And Independence coming back, now trailing by a score.
Brian Hales told us, and he told the Charlotte Observer during the interview he had with them during the week, that one of the advantages we have in this game, according to Hales, is the special teams. He loves Konosinski because typically when he kicks a ball off, it goes through the end zone as it did just now.
Yeah, Konosinski happy to see that one come his way in a traditional manner as opposed to having to look up to the sky like he did the first time when he had that punt that went over his head. So a bit more conventional and everything works out. From the 20-yard line, Independence down by a touchdown will start their next drive. Little hands the football off to Jaden Jones. Jones able to shed one tackle, two on the back end get him. He got away from Curtis Pierce, but the duo in front took him down for a short gain. Let's see if he actually got a gain out of that. Yeah, I think they'll give him a yard, 2nd and 9.
How about the speed by Curtis Pierce coming over number 7? Gets there, meets him rudely for the stop.
That's why Pierce is right up there in terms of tackles charted this season for Butler. 2nd and 9 after the 1-yard gain for Jaden Jones. Little moves him over. Little dropping, and that one is complete on the sideline. Kind of a tightrope catch to Vontrez Birch. Birch has enough for a first down. He caught that right on the sideline.
And a good job by the offensive line that time. One of their best jobs in the first 7 minutes of this game of giving time for Justin Little, the quarterback, to find the receiver Vontrez Birch on the outside.
1st and 10 from the 33 now. Birch the one to watch in the receiving corps for Independence. 19 catches, 610 yards, 7 touchdowns coming in to title night. Here's Jaden Jones looking for some room on the outside. Jones able to get about 3, maybe 4 out of that. 2nd down coming up. And again, Jones, that's the whole story for this team, Armand, like we talked about with head coach DJ McFadden. He's just saying, look, he's different. You can go back and you can look at the numbers he told us earlier this week. Only 73 carries this season. He's missed 3 games. And he says, look, if Jaden Jones was getting 20, 25 carries a game and he had played all 9 games, he's at 2,000 probably easy at this point.
Yeah, that's what he said. And Hales knows you got to get penetration on him to prevent him from cutting loose.
2nd and 6 from the 37. Little looking now. Little stepping up and doesn't find much there. 3rd down is coming up as Little got stopped by Tyquan Rankin, and it's 3rd down.
And a good hit in the hole there by that Butler defense, not letting Justin Little, who is a dual threat quarterback, he can scramble, he can run and take off, not letting him get away.
Rankin, 63 total tackles this season for Butler. 3rd and 6 with 4:30 to go in this opening quarter. Little drops, incomplete. Trying to sling that over to Reggie Hoax, but he couldn't hook up with Hoax, and it's 4th down. We did see Justin Little, Armand, attempt to get a little mobile. That second to last play didn't work out, set up a tough 3rd down. It's 4th down, and Independence will punt.
And a good play call by the defensive staff of Butler. They run a zone coverage that time. there was some miscommunication there because it looked like there was a slant being run on the route, but the pass sailed behind him, and Independence could not hook up for the first down.
Lyric Copera, both punters have been busy. Copera just gets that one away cleanly. Here's Currents to call for the fair catch. It's out of his hands, and this is live for Independence. Who's going to pick it up? There are plenty of Patriots at the bottom of that pile. If someone for Independence didn't come up with it, it would be a shocker, and they do come up with it. It's salvaged by Bryce Lofton. Lofton was at the bottom of the pile.
Oh my goodness, he backpedals, Currents does, and there are 3 or 4 Independence players there swarming him. May have made him a bit nervous, and he muffed the punt. And Independence has a huge opportunity after that Ortho Carolina instant replay.
Oh, this changes the early texture of this game, as now Independence is going to have it just outside of the 10-yard line, and now a chance to pick up the drive that just stalled out as Currents had it, lost it, and Lofton recovered. High snap, give goes to Jaden Jones. Jones looking for space. Butler has to tighten up right here. Jones able to get a couple out of that. Second down, as it'll be now inside the 10.
I love this matchup because Jaden Jones, and we saw him against Catholic, how patient a runner he is. He waits for his blocks to develop, and he likes to run east-west only because he's looking for the hole. But once he finds the hole, he attacks, and he does not go down on the first hit.
2nd and 5 from the 6-yard line. Jones absorbing one of those hits, falls ahead. 3rd down. We're not quite goal to go yet, couple yards shy of that, but this will be 3rd down.
Corey, Curtis Pierce is remarkably fast. He came downhill to make a hit like lightning and struck in the backfield.
3rd and 3 from the 4. Independence can still pick up a first down here without getting a touchdown. Little turns around, gives it to Jaden Jones. Jones is upended. He needed 3 for a first down. I think he's short, Armand, and he is. 4th down.
He's definitely short. Jones is coming out now. I don't see the offense coming off the field, Corey Hodges.
Okay.
Is this one of those winning calls I was talking about earlier?
Could go right back to your keys to the game, and we're not even through the first quarter. 4th and 1 from the 2. Again, Independence, 2 trains of thought. Try to score or get your yard for the first down. Little will keep. He needs a yard for a first down. He may be looking for a touchdown too. He did. He got it. Justin Little, enough to fall into the end zone. 7-6 as Independence capitalizes on the muff punt return and comes up with a touchdown.
Justin Little, during a team meeting last week, told his team, I want my respect as one of the best quarterbacks in the state. Ortho Carolina instant replay. He's hit. It's heart and effort and toughness that gets him into the end zone. That's how you earn respect, my friend.
What's the thing that Justin Little has always talked about this season, Armand? We've talked about it with McFadden. He doesn't want to be compared to that stereotypical image as a mobile quarterback. Copera looking for the extra point. He got it to tie it at 7, but that time he went back to the run game and it worked out for him. Ortho Carolina committed to empowering those who may be impacted by injuries. In partnership with a Hurt mobile app, Ortho Carolina provides free, on-the-go, real-time access to orthopedic specialists 365 days a year. Whether you're a coach, athletic trainer, parent, or athlete, the Hurt mobile app is a must-have. Prepare yourself now for those unexpected moments by downloading the Hurt app, and you can download it tonight. Ortho Carolina committed to being the better choice.
Back trail. Not so much. Oh, hey. My pedal. Wonder where the other one is.
From urgent care to your full recovery, Ortho Carolina is there every step of the way.
Good day, though. Good day.
We're back. 2:20 to go in this first quarter, and we're tied at 7. in the Southwestern 4A title game. Corey Hodges, Armand Brody, our entire team back here with you. The Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series powered by Ortho Carolina. It's our season finale. Butler returned, gets out to the 20-yard line, and so the Bulldogs a little shell-shocked after the miscue by Currents and trying to regain some momentum. That time it was Cameron Holman who brought it out to the 20, and here's Butler in a tie game.
I will say if there's any team that can sort of rebound after that muff punt that leads to the Independence touchdown, it's this Butler team. There's a level of maturity on this team that I think gives them the calmness in these kinds of situations to let them know that they'll be just fine if they do what they do and stick to what the game plan is.
A Butler team that really kind of found some of their footing after the big win in Georgia, down in Atlanta, and really kept it going since then. 8-1 coming in. Running play to start this next drive. Looked to be enough on the forward progress, close to the 30-yard line. We'll see if it's enough for that first down as Williams carries it.
Yeah, but just to circle back to that huge win they had at Langston Hughes in Atlanta back in Georgia, that's a top 10, top 15 ranked team in the country, a massive win.
Offense moving quickly right after the 2nd and short. It was just 2nd and 1. Williams needed 1 yard to pick up a first. He got it, so first down coming up here from the 32-yard line.
I like what both teams are doing. Independence is trying to get Jones going in the run game. Butler's trying to do the same thing with Williams.
1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Lawrence has Williams behind him. Lawrence will keep it, flick it. Room on the outside for Keyshawn Marino, and he is out at around just past the 35. See where they mark him right at the 35. 2nd down coming up after the gain of 4.
Very nice tackle on the outside by number 11, Nick Reddish, cornerback and safety, whose older brother Quentin is headed to Virginia Tech. These Reddish guys, they just keep pumping out great players, and a good play made that time by Nick Reddish.
2nd and 6 from the 35-yard line with under 45 seconds left in this first quarter. Here's Lawrence, turns around, gives it to Williams. Williams looking for the pylon to get the first down. He got to the stick, and that's a fresh set coming up with 35 seconds to go in the first.
Another good play call. They run a little stretch action that time. The quarterback going one way, hand it off to the running back. Williams going left, and he picks up enough for the first down.
Williams came into tonight over 700 yards, 6 scores. Lawrence quickly, that one through the hands of Currents. 2nd down.
I get the sense, Corey, that Butler is pounding it to set up some big pass play here. Wouldn't be surprised if we see something in the direction of DeQuandre Currents going deep here within the next few plays.
2nd and 10 after that incomplete pass. Lawrence to Currents.
Independence giving a lot of respect to these receivers on the outside playing soft coverage.
3 wide. Here is Williams, who will take it up the middle. Independence there to meet him. The pressure got to Lawrence from Malachi Asalam, who took him down in the backfield.
Yeah, Malachi had that thing read like a novel. Ate that play up before it really had a chance to develop. And it's 3rd down coming up, and we start the 2nd.
Max has
It's
been
going to run out
practicing to be a
time in the first
professional
quarter.
soccer player
Tied at
his whole
7
life.
after the first.
I think I broke my knee.
On the NFHS network. Back after this.
His whole life.
I think I broke my knee. I think I broke my collarbone. I can do better. Let me take that from the top.
From your first real urgent care visit to full recovery, Ortho Carolina is there every step of the way.
I think I broke my ALC.
It's ACL.
He's getting really good.
Second quarter ready to begin. We're back in a 7-7 game between Butler and Independence back here on the NFHS Network. Corey Hodges, Armand Brody, our entire team. It's our season finale of the Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series powered by Ortho Carolina. A great one so far. Both of these teams battling for the Southwestern for a title. We will flip directions. We'll keep this ball on the ground and work now from right to left as Butler has it, looking to avenge that fumble that set up the Independence touchdown by little, and it was Cam Macon who had the receiving score for Butler. The 2 strikes on the night with this game tied at 7. It's been somewhat as expected early on, Armand.
Definitely tight. We've seen these players make a couple mistakes. We had the muff punt. And this game is sort of going how we expected it. I think that's fair to say.
Yep.
Championship game, the atmosphere is what it is. And I think these teams are still settling into this game. Got a big third down coming up here for Butler.
Yeah, 3rd and 11 from the 42 for Butler out of the break between quarters. Here's Lawrence as the Bulldogs go 5 wide. Lawrence has time, steps up. He can get mobile when he needs to. Now he's got plenty of Independence players on him. He's trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, doesn't get there, and it will be 4th down. He did all he could, Zach Lawrence, but there was just no room on the edge.
Zach's been working on his mobility with quarterback coach Donald Littlejohn, who's a champion in his own right as a quarterback's coach. He's well-traveled in the Charlotte area, but that time there just wasn't much going on there. Independence situations. And Zach kind of stumbled through that one and ended up taking the hit, so it's 4th down.
Yeah, 4th down here in Butler.
There's a penalty, Corey, and it's an unsportsmanlike conduct flag on Butler that was thrown late.
All right, so Independence will benefit from that on this forthcoming punt as they'll try to get the field a little bit shorter. Independence sent out 1 return man. They sent out Brian Crowder. And Crowder comes out, and Jaden Jones comes in to return.
So they're marking off the penalty for the unsportsmanlike. I think that's a 15-yard penalty. So that's going to make it 4th and a whole lot coming up now here for Butler, which should give Independence better field position.
So this is Konazinski ready to punt, and Jones standing at the 30 on the other side. Again, the snap is high over Konazinski. He saved it once. Can he save it again? He had hands on it the first time. He tries to come back and secure it. Does Butler hold on to this football, or does Independence get a touch at it? Konazinski, he had a look. He got his hands on the first time on. What did he do on the second down?
Falls on it, but it's still Independence ball. First and goal inside the 5-yard line. What a disaster for a team that has been so confident in its special teams. That's 2 huge mistakes by the Butler special teams unit, and Independence has another chance to pay this off with a touchdown.
It was Konazinski who had hands on it on the first touch. That second time, though, he couldn't wrangle it in. So here we go again. 1st and goal from the 5. Jaden Jones keeps. Jones trying to break the wall. Maybe got a yard and a half, possibly 2. 2nd and goal coming up.
That starts to put even more pressure on the Butler defense to have to make plays. I'll be honest, I am really surprised because when we spoke with Brian Ells and the interviews that we heard during the week, special teams was the least of his worries, and already 2 huge blunders, really 3 if you count the Konazinski, the play that he saved from going to Independence the first time.
2nd and goal from the 1. Jones needs just that for the touchdown, and he got it. I think the crowd called it first. Jaden Jones with the strike. 13 touchdowns this season. He needed a yard. He got a yard.
Ortho Carolina instant replay. The snap is a bit high. They get penetration, but could not get to Jones in time as Jones powers his way into the end zone for that score. Jaden Farmer was coming from the edge and almost got there, but was just a touch late, and Independent has the lead.
And now here's Copera ready for the extra point. He'll get help from Little with the hold. It's 13-7, Independence. 2 plays after the fumble recovery And Jones has 13 touchdowns this season. Again, another whistle here. Copera puts it through, but he's going to have another crack at it.
False start called on Independence. This crowd's not as lively as they were when this game started, Corey.
No, those are two plays that I know it's kind of our phrase, bookmark plays in a game to kind of go back and remember. Well, so far, the two biggest plays of the game, the Currents fumble on the punt return try, and then that one over the head of Konazinski that he couldn't pull in like he did the first time. But that's two high snaps and one muffed punt, which have led to, right now, 2 Independence touchdowns. Otherwise, the Butler defense has been holding Independence out of the red zone. Copera, he's going to have to do this a third time.
My gracious.
There's been a lot of football played coming into this game, Armand, but this looks like an early August game, mid-August game.
Did we mention that this is for a conference championship?
Well, that too. There's some nerves for sure.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's a pertinent note. You're right. That's the thing too. A lot on the line here. Well,
offsides this time.
Well, that brings it right back for Copera.
So we're back where we started.
Yeah, he's done the shuffle. He moved back. He was in his original spot. He's doing the Macarena here. Let's see if Copera can get it. Third time's the charm. Got blocked. Copera, his third try at the extra point, and it got swatted. 13-7, it will stay. So Independence has some revenge there to keep this a game that they can lead with the touchdown and an extra point.
So, of course, it gets blocked the third time, right?
Yeah, of course.
You get a false start, then you get an offsides, and you just block the extra point. This is not foreign to Butler, though. They've had their hands on quite a few kicks throughout the year. It goes back to the special teams being a strength they thought they had coming into this game.
Well, that's some way there to get back some of your momentum, to at least be able to make a play on special teams and kind of give something back to Independence. Most importantly, a 13-7 game is a game you can lead with a touchdown and an extra point, as opposed to being in a situation where you need to score and get the extra point conventionally just to tie. So that's another thing to remember. We're 1 point off here to the benefit of Butler if they can score again and get that extra point. So again, bookmark that for later in the game. We got enough bookmarks in this game like Watership Down. We need a book that big to hold all the bookmarks in this one. Here's Copera ready to kick it away for Independence. 10:37 to go in the second. Copera just surges into that one, sends it end over end. Currents has it cleanly this time, trying to show off some speed. DeQuandre Currents. Currents in the open field. Far side. Currents has to get Copera to keep him just short of the 40 as he tried to take it all the way. Beautiful return for DeQuandre Currents.
North Carolina instant replay. And you got to know that Quandre's been waiting on his chance, right? He says, I muffed that punt, but I'm not going to muff this. He takes that one way down the field for around 60 or so yards out past the 40-yard line of Independence.
Well, that's a big morale booster for DeQuandre Currents to get some of those feels back in the return game. He has it, as Armand said, just inside the 40 at the 39.
We asked Brian Hells, I said, how fast is DeQuandre? You know what Brian said? He's fast enough.
Right. Yeah, I love that. He even said, I didn't really even clock him. I don't really know his speed. But yeah,
care.
He's fast enough. Lawrence steps back, fires it, incomplete. Incomplete. Looking for Cam Macon. It was Quentin Reddish who was there, one of the two to knock it away for Independence, second down.
Also in there was Kylan Coleman. I had a feeling that something big was coming at some point for Butler. That's the big play they were looking for. Well done defensively by Coleman to get the initial deflection on that play.
Second down, 2nd and 10 from the 39. Lawrence rolling. Lawrence, that one incomplete, looking again for Macon, third down.
Independence playing a lot of zone coverage here in this first half to start. And I'm wondering if they're trying to set Zach Lawrence up for something here, an eventual blitz or something with man coverage. They've been playing a lot of zone in this first half, playing soft coverage and playing in zone.
That's what Brian Hales, head coach for Butler, loves so much about Zach Lawrence, his ability to recognize zone versus man and what type of zone it is. He can pick that out. 3rd and 10. Needs to do a good discovery job here. Here's Lawrence stepping up through the pocket. Lawrence able to get that one away to his back, Jaden Williams, but Williams a couple yards short of the first down.
If you're Independence, you will live with that. It looks like they're going to try and rush this thing on the 4th down.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. Rush with a capital R. 4th and 1. Give goes to Williams, and he gets it. Needed a yard, and like Jaden Jones on that last touchdown for Independence, he got his yard, did Jaden Williams, and it's a fresh set for Butler.
Yeah, these teams know field goals and punts is not going to get the job done here tonight.
Nope, not in the title game. 1st and 10 from the 28. Picking out some space for a couple yards goes Currents. We mentioned Currents on that nice return to set up this current drive. Coming in over 200 kick return yards and has done some really good stuff this season there. Still looking for a chance to actually get it into the end zone on a kickoff return. He had about 40 to go. He would have made it. 2nd and 9.
What did Hale say about Currents? He says as long as he's between the white lines, he's going to make a good play.
Yeah. Put him out there and just let him do something magical. Handoff goes to Jaden Williams. Williams able to carve up a couple more. It'll set up 3rd down. He got about 5 out of that. 3rd down coming up.
Dallas Brannon, the sophomore linebacker, made that stop. There's so much speed, really, with both these teams at the linebacker position. Just some great talent in the middle of these defenses.
3rd and 4 from the 22. Give goes to Donovan Pollard. Pollard racing ahead for a first down. He gets this one inside the 10-yard line to set up 1st and goal for Butler, or thereabouts at least.
Not unfamiliar territory for Pollard. He doesn't touch it much, but it seems like every time he touches it, might be 3 or 4 or 5 times, he ends up making a big play.
Jaden Williams on 1st and goal. Williams gets tripped up back to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by the other Reddish, Nicholas Reddish.
These Reddish guys are earning their pay tonight, metaphorically speaking, of course, but another nice tackle, shoestring that time.
Back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and goal from the 10. Williams is the back behind Lawrence. Now Williams goes in motion. Lawrence looking that way, and Williams all by himself pulls it in for the Butler touchdown. That will tie the game, and the extra point could give Butler the lead.
Ortho Carolina instant replay. He goes in motion, comes out of the backfield, and nobody from Independence accounts for him. And the Independence defense knew they made a huge mistake there as Williams was untouched in the end zone for the touchdown.
2nd receiving score of the season for Jaden Williams, in motion and into the end zone. 13-all. Here comes the one to put Butler ahead, and it is 14-13. Butler on the Konazinski extra point. Ortho Carolina has always been a leader in specialized orthopedic care, but now when urgent care is needed, Ortho Carolina has those urgent care options, and they're also all part of the Hurt Mobile app. Ortho Carolina providing free on-the-go real-time access to orthopedic specialists 365 days a year. You can prepare yourself now for those unexpected moments by downloading the Hurt app, and you can do it tonight. Ortho Carolina committed to being the better choice. Go Dogs.
They're going right now, too.
Yeah. You know, we brought that up earlier, Armand, about the kind of the tail of this season so far for Butler, and how, you know, at 8-1, they went back and they really kind of took the temperature of the team in that season opener at Rolesville in that 21-19 loss back in mid-August. And Hales told us earlier in the week, look, we went back and they said the biggest issue was guys taking some plays off. And he said, we've got to get that fixed. We've got to get that nipped in the bud, as they say. And even Hales said, look, we saw that against Rolesville. What happened after Hales kind of watched the tape from Rolesville? Well, it's been all wins since then. So that August the 18th game, a lot of it has led to this October 27th game.
And both teams did a great job of preparing for conference play with some tough non-conference games.
Yeah.
Independence had a similar situation at Mallard Creek to start the season. They lost that game, but they learned something about their team. Both these teams well prepared because of the non-conference schedule.
1st and 10 from the 20 after the touchback. Here's Independence now trailing by a point after that blocked extra point on their last touchdown scoring drive. Little snap a bit high. Give goes to Jaden Jones. Jones bounces away from a tackle, able to claw out about 2 yards that time goes Jones, who is one of the best, Armand, at absorbing tackles.
You're right about that, and this game is going to come down to some of those simple things like making a tackle, like finishing a tackle.
Right.
High school football, you see a lot of missed tackles, and this game's going to come down to like blocking and tackling. Some of those
Right.
basics, they always end up mattering in the long run.
We'll give Jones 3, so 2nd and 7 from the 23. Just under 7.5 to go in the second quarter. Little flips it out to Jones. There's Jones breaking a tackle. Jones able to ride another Butler Bulldog on his back and gets a small gain to set up 3rd down.
Jaden Jones is so dangerous out in space. At least Butler made that initial hit to slow him down before the other red jerseys came to meet him.
Got a yard to Jones. 3rd and 6. Little drops incomplete, looking for Jones, who just got exploded on the far side. Incomplete. 4th down on that rocker of a hit from Jeremy Nixon.
Yeah, Jeremy Nixon, 6'2", 185-pound defensive back, popped him that time. But I like the thought, trying to get that ball to Jones. You know, he's one of your best players on the offensive end, but that little wheel route type look just did not work for Independence that time, and he got to punt it away.
Yeah, Jones was a part of each play on this 3 and out. 6:45 to go before half. Here's the boot from Copera. It's not going to come near Currents, about 5 yards in front of him before Independence goes ahead and softens this one down at about the 42, 43-yard line. So that's where Butler is going to have the football, leading 14-13. And obviously, Armand, the talk is about the winning streak and all of that, but the Rolesville game was a turning point in terms of what Butler saw that they were maybe not doing all the way correctly, but especially so this season was Butler not long after that. We mentioned the trip to Langston Hughes down in Atlanta on September the 2nd when Butler got a 30-27 win, and that was an affirmation. Hale said that we knew we'd have a good team this year. We knew we could play with just about anyone. 1st and 10 from the 43 for Butler. Currents pulls this one in, tackled immediately for a short gain, little pushing after the play as well, and now Currents is tied up and eventually gets out of that. He got tied up with Bryson McEver. And so now we got to figure out what's going on after the play. Were there any flags thrown, Armand?
Oh, yeah, there was a flag thrown. An Independence player hit the ground. And I wonder if they're not going to call a personal foul here on Butler.
Yeah, they will.
North Carolina instant replay. Take a look here after the catch. There's the tackle. It's not in our shot. You see some entanglement there. There's another Independence player that's just a bit away from that shot who took a hit from a Butler player, fell down, and that is what drew the flag from the official.
I said McKeever's name, but he was kind of on the back end of that. He wasn't directly involved. He almost was inadvertently tied up, but Butler gets hit with the penalty, so they will back up, and it's 2nd and 20. From the 33-yard line, Lawrence fakes it, rolls it, pressure right in his face, incomplete. Lawrence did well just to get that ball out of there before he met the wrecking ball of Malachi Asalam again.
Yeah, Asalam has been messing things up a little bit here in this first half for Independence's defense. That time Lawrence did all he could just to get that one away.
Asalam this season with 1 sack to his credit, one of the 19 total sacks for Independence's defense coming into tonight. 3rd and 20. Lawrence hits Currents, who subsequently falls right down at the 35, gets 2 yards from it, and it's 4th down.
That's what happens when you have a 3rd down and long. The defense can just sort of lay back, play coverage, play safe, and quietly, that drive comes to an end for Butler.
Yeah, that stalled out, and Independence got into prevent and let Currents get a small gain, a gain of, in fact, only 1 yard. 4th and 19, so obviously you're punting, and here's Butler now. See if it gets clean to Konazinski. It does, thankfully. Konazinski bounces this to the 30. Jones is there to pick it up. He scoops it up on the hop, got a flag. Jones is clear of the 40, gets down to the 43-yard line, but we've got 2 penalty flags right around where Jones was clawing his way back up.
It was a dangerous decision there by Jaden Jones, picking that ball up in some traffic.
No kidding.
There was an initial flag thrown. North Carolina instant replay. 2 flags thrown. You'd have to think one of them is a block in the back. No pushing and shoving after the play, but no flag thrown there. The officials are going to talk about this one. The referee is in your shot right now. Typically it's on the return team. Block in the back on Independence. Yep. I'm a little surprised that Jones opted to pick that one up. A lot of traffic in there around that punt.
Yeah, it's one of those where usually you're taught just to stay away from that. If you can't catch it clean and you don't have a little bit of space around you, just stay away. You know, we already saw what happened to DeQuandre Currents earlier when he tried to pull it in. He had 2 right in front of him, and it wound up, he dropped the football. Currents had a lot of traffic in front of him. That time Jones had the same situation, but Jones actually electing to take that out, to the chagrin ultimately of Independence, because they have to start back now inside the 25-yard line at the 23. Trailing by 1, under 5.5 to go before halftime in this title game. Little flips it, pulled in by Crowder. Crowder right at the stick. He knocks down the stick and the yard to gain marker, does Brian Crowder.
There's a flag down, Corey, and I think it's a hold on Independence on the perimeter. And it is.
Coming back from Crowder.
Well, we kind of expected some penalties and some turnovers in this first half.
Oh, yeah.
Considering what's on the line and the nature of this rivalry. We've gotten just that, I'd say.
We've gotten everything, about as much as the first half could hold. We've gotten. First,
well, what did DJ McFadden say? He said the more disciplined team's going to win this game.
That's right. Yeah, perfect time to throw in that quote from McFadden. He was all about the discipline factor. 1st and 15 from the 18-yard line. Bunch set for Independence at the bottom of the formation. 1 wide out up top. Here's Little. Little will look, and that one is intercepted. Justin Little got picked off by Phil Harris. Phil, the thrill for Butler, comes away with a pick.
North Carolina instant replay. He just takes it away from him. What a great play made by Phil Harris on the outside, shifting the momentum right back to Butler with that big play. That's one of those winning plays we were talking about to start this game.
And so that pick inside of Independence territory is going to set up Butler here in a huge spot with just over 5 minutes to go before the break for Harris, his second interception of the season. That's pick number 8 this season for Butler's secondary.
Brian Hill says Phil has those go gadget arms.
Yeah, he's got the Inspector Gadget look going on that high-reaching interception for sure. Here's Lawrence trying to get it all in one play. Currents looking for a flag. Doesn't get one. Arms held behind his back. Kylan Coleman wants none of it. Second down.
Got a senior on a senior there. And there was a little bit of contact. Currents turned around immediately as if to say, hey, ref, what you got for me? No flag was thrown. That's the kind of game it's going to be, man.
That's it.
There are certain instances in this game, you just got to win a matchup. You got to make a play, win a matchup, do something spectacular for your team.
And right there, you saw Butler doing exactly what, Armand, so many teams are taught to do now. Turnover, go for the quick hitter play.
Yeah, Butler's been building to that big play.
Yeah.
That was another opportunity they were looking for. Coverage was tight there, and the pass was not complete.
2nd and 10. Will Lawrence go deep again? He's going to fire it over the middle. Pulled in. Touchdown. Jaden Williams. Williams rising, pulling it in for 6 points.
He runs straight up the seam on the Ortho Carolina instant replay. And that time, Dallas Brennan, the linebacker, lets him release and get by him. And that's how he was able to make that over-the-shoulder catch for the touchdown.
So it's the second quick-hitting play for Butler following the Phil Harris pick. That gets the Bulldogs into the end zone again. They lead it 20-13, and again, that extra point is looming. Here's Konazinski looking to get it up cleanly. He just blisters it. 21-13. Butler has taken control with under 5 to play before intermission. That right there was a classic post-interception type play for Butler, Armand, with Lawrence looking to Currents for the quick hitter first, couldn't come up with it. Then he finds Williams, as you said, right down the middle.
Both teams have made their opponents pay for turnovers in this game. And we knew turnovers were going to be, you could feel it during the week. Both coaches said it. It was something that we both expected in this game.
Right.
And these teams have been able to turn those turnovers around into points. Both teams have done it, and that's given Butler this 8-point lead.
Yeah, you know, and Brian Hales has talked a lot about, you know, the 2009 Butler team, and, you know, he went back to that season. He thought about when Butler beat Richmond Senior in 2009, and, of course, this year with that Langston Hughes win, he feels like maybe it's all led to this 4A Southwestern title game. And now with that big pick, 2 plays later following the Harris interception, it's a Williams from Lawrence connection touchdown, and Butler kicks it away with Konazinski. This one's going to be held in the end zone. Thinking about coming out of the end zone there and thinking better of it was return man Reggie Hoax. Just goes ahead and stays in, and so Independence will have it at the 20-yard line.
Going back to the touchdown for just a moment, you got to be thinking that Dallas Brennan, the linebacker, is looking for defensive back help because he lets Williams go right by him. He releases him, and he's got to be looking for somebody behind him. There was nobody there, and Williams makes a catch wide open for the touchdown.
Well, that's one of those moments where there's no back end help, and it's a touchdown, 2 plays following the pick. Here's Little. Independence trying to get the momentum back. Justin Little decides to get mobile. A flag comes in, and he's pulled down after a gain of maybe 1, tackled by Eli Aloma. Will wait on the penalty.
It's got to be a hold on Independence.
Yeah.
Right in the middle. Yes, sir. It's a young offensive line for Independence. They've grown together throughout the course of the year. And we were impressed when we saw the Charlotte Catholic Independence game with how intelligently that offensive line performed. They really had a strong performance in that game. But they have been growing throughout the course of the season, gelling together. And that's really a way to describe this entire offense for Independence. As the season has gone along, they've grown together, so much so that in their last 6 games, they've defeated their opponents 313-38.
Yeah, I loved when you brought that stat up in our Zoom call earlier this week, just to show the defensive prowess of Independence over the last 5-6 weeks. Following the penalty, 1st and long zipped to Crowder. Crowder has that first down. He gets to the 38-yard line and picks up a fresh set on a gain of 27 yards.
Ortho Carolina instant replay. They're playing a zone coverage, and he just slips right by the defender, settles in, getting right by Sammy Washington, the defensive back, to make the catch for the first down.
We called a 28-yard gain, ball on the 39-yard line. So Crowder coming through there to get Independence on the move. Bit of a high snap again to Little. He's got pressure coming. Flipped it to his running back Jones, but Butler there to stop Jones, trying to set up that screen play. Nothing there. Prevalon was there, among others, for Butler. Second down.
Was he ever there? Great pop by Prevalon. And a timeout here now by Independence.
Ortho Carolina, they have always been a leader in specialized orthopedic care, but now when urgent attention is needed, Ortho Carolina has urgent care options that focus on orthopedic injuries such as sprains, fractures, strains, dislocations. You can count on Ortho Carolina to be the more efficient, reliable, just plain better choice when it comes to your care needs. Walk-ins are welcome at 9 orthopedic urgent care locations right here in the Carolinas. You can find a location near you, and you can find it at orthocarolina.com.
It's a good timeout by Independence, I think, to settle the team down a little bit. 4 minutes left in the first half. You obviously want to go into the halftime break with some points. Butler got the ball to start the game. So Independence is going to get the ball to start the second half. So if they play their cards right, they can get like a 2-for-1 situation here, which would really turn the momentum of this game around.
Yeah, it's why so many home teams now defer, and so that's what sets up, as you said, Armand, a very good spot for Independence, especially if they could score. 2nd and 14. That was a loss of 4 on that blown-up play on the throw from Little to Jones. Little now scrambling. Little, he's got pressure coming. Little gets taken down. He never got rid of the football, and he gets sacked by Nick Darling with a beautiful sack.
Nick Darling, one of those seniors. You're looking at him right there, number 22. He is superb. They got a group of linebackers, Darling, Espinoza, and Coleman. These guys are just outright dogs, and not just bulldogs. I'm talking about dogs.
D-A-W-G.
There you go.
Right. For Darling, his 8th sack of the season, and again, a pretty last name, but a feisty defensive player. What did you?
Our producer Jay Bell has always got a quick one on us there. We got 3:40 left in the second quarter. It's 21-13. It's a good opportunity for us to remind you that the Ortho Carolina halftime report is coming up. We got an interview with Dr. Piasecki, so make sure you stick around for that. And of course, Corey and I will have commentary about this sizzling, scintillating first half in this Southwestern 4A Conference title game between Independence and Butler.
That's right. Bring out the adjectives for this one. 3rd and 16. A loss of 4 on the second to last play to Jones. A loss of 2 more on the sack. Darling on Little. And now Independence, they can only capitalize getting the ball to start the second half if they can score, but they're backed up. Little still under pressure. Gets away. Little on the move, but he needs 16 yards for a first down. He gets maybe about 5. 4th down as he's tackled on the far side.
Reggie Hoax, number 82, the wide receiver, was trying to get open. He was right at the marker, but it was so late in the play. That's just great defense by Butler. That's talent, right? And that's what we talked about with Brian Hills. He says, our guys, if you take a look at the Ortho Carolina instant replay, our guys are so talented that they take away things other teams don't take away.
Yeah, Little just pursued the whole way.
There was a flag on Independence, a holding penalty on the Patriots.
So replay, 3rd down.
Missed that flag. It hadn't have been thrown late. It is a hold, and it's a 3rd and Pineville Matthews Road here now for Independence.
Yeah. Pineville Matthews Road with Friday traffic. Give goes to Jones. Jones gets a couple. Now it is 4th down, tackled by Aloma. And that's just Independence being careful with it there. Not doing anything too extraordinary. Keep it on the ground and get ready to punt.
Butler's been wrapping up defensively. Well taught. They know how dangerous Jaden Jones can be. No weak tackle efforts in this ball game here.
No, yeah, you said it, Armand. These are wrap-up tackles and leaving nothing to chance. Colpera, that one got blocked. It got blocked by Ian Coleman. And now Butler trying to recover. They do. It's Jeremy Nixon on the recovery. Coleman blocked it. Nixon recovers. And now it's Butler's turn to block something on special teams for the 2nd time tonight and set themselves up in great field position.
Corey, they've been coming so close all half long to blocking punts, and that time they get to it on the Otho Carolina instant replay. I was going to mention it the last time Independence had a punt, but we ran out of time to do it. But they've been coming so close, and that time they got home.
And now Butler set up here at the 23-yard line, and this is good for Butler because they will not get the second half. They will not get the second half kickoff. So now here's Lawrence giving it away. There's really nothing up front. 2nd down upcoming after the run by Williams.
This is what I'm talking about with the maturity of this Butler team, right?
Yeah.
It seems like the muff punt and all that stuff, it seems like a distant memory now. They know how to hunker down,
right,
tighten up when they need to, and get themselves reorganized.
Yeah, even Brian Hales talks about, look, I think our DNA is the same from last year to this year. You know, he wants to run the ball. It doesn't even have to be 50-50 pass run. You know, if one's going better than the other, do that. Here's Lawrence. End zone shot. Too far away from Donovan Pollard. And it's 3rd down.
You're trying to get to Pollard, and Pollard may not be the guy who jumps right out at you immediately on this Butler offense. But Brian Hales really likes what Pollard brings to the table for them offensively. You know, Brian Hales had a great quote. We were talking a second ago about Brian, and I love his quote. He said, "The questions are different every week, but the answers are always the same." I thought that was so wise.
Perfect. Yeah, it's a beautifully worded answer and really sums up the 20 years of experience that Hales has here at Butler, one of the best. 3rd and 8 for Lawrence. Plenty of time, jumbled in the hands of Pollard, and then pulled in, and Pollard out of bounds at around the 22, 23-yard line. It will be 4th down.
And so now, what does Butler do? It looks like they're bringing out Konosinski to try the field goal, but if you're Independent, you got to give yourself a bit of a pat on the back there, because it would have been a really difficult hole to try to dig out of, going down 2 scores into the halftime break. But Independent stiffens. They played coverage that time, good zone coverage, and Lawrence had nowhere to go.
Konosinski's long field goal make this season is 30 yards. This one is 40, and it got blocked. Konosinski, he got a foot on it, and then Independence was there to block it down. It looks like it was Nicholas Reddish who had a chance to at least get to it, so that field goal was blocked by Independence on special teams.
I'll tell you, I don't know about this game.
I mean, what happens if this comes down to a field goal? What happens if...
It very well could.
Right.
It very well could. When we do special teams, will play a factor, but it's been special in all caps here in this first half. So many wacky things happening on that side. It's that third phase that often goes unnoticed.
Yeah.
But when things happen, they tend to happen rather loudly. And that's the kind of half we've had here on a special teams, from a special teams perspective anyway.
1:45 to go before halftime, and Independence has the ball back again. This is Little. Quick hitter to Will Brown. First time we've said Will Brown's name tonight, and he gets about 7-8 yards out of that. 2nd down.
North Carolina instant replay because of the threat of Jones. Those linebackers start cheating up a bit. The toss to the outside there by Will Brown, a very good tight end committed to North Carolina Central.
He's going to play for Trey Oliver. 2nd and 2. After that 8-yard gain by Brown, who has 7 touchdowns this season. Little keeps. Little still has it. Little has a first down and more for Independence past the 40-yard line.
Love this decision by Justin Little here on the RPO, one pass option. Use Jones in as a threat, and Little takes off to pick up a nice gain. Timeout by Butler here now.
Ball's at the 42-yard line for Independence. And the story on Justin Little, again, this dynamic quarterback. We were talking about turning points for Butler, whether it was the game down in Atlanta earlier this season, of course, whether it was the Rollsville game. No doubt, turning point this season, Armand, for Independence, coincidentally, was our 3rd Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series powered by Ortho Carolina broadcast last month at Charlotte Catholic. And that was a game where we saw Jones really flower with a couple of big runs. That late Vontrez Birch catch for a touchdown. That was a dominant win, shocked a lot of people, and since then Independence has been on the roll, but especially so behind Justin Little, who still really feels, well, first of all, big chip on his shoulder, still does not feel like he gets the respect in this area among most of the top star quarterbacks.
You're right. Just to go back to that Catholic game for a second, though, Jaden Jones in particular, 14 carries, 250 yards, and 3 touchdowns in that game. And you're right, all the Independence fans and the coaching staff and the players knew that was when this season turned for them.
Yeah, that was the turning point. 1st and 10 from the 42. It's been all good since for the Patriots. Again, bit of a high snap, but handled by Little. Little flicks it to Jones. Jones trying to carve his way up and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe they'll give him a yard out of that. 2nd down. Not seeing it yet, just back to the line of scrimmage. 46 seconds to go before the break.
Independence not moving with a great deal of alacrity here. Nearly a half minute left.
Two timeouts left, haven't used any yet. 33 seconds to go before the break. Here's Jones, cuts to the outside. Jones got away from one tackle, flag flies. That's the elusiveness of Jaden Jones on display, but now we have to await the penalty. Broke away from Espinoza, but is that coming back?
Ortho Carolina instant replay. I think it's a hold on Independence. But I tell you, Jaden Jones, man, physical, physical, physical.
That's what he does best. You can't bring him down on the first try. He just, again, he gets small in the creases. Talking to DJ McFadden about him, has that breakaway speed. And of course, McFadden is partial to his top running back, but he feels like he's the best back in the state. And you give Jones, again, a full workload, you're talking about him right at the top. It is a hold on Independence.
Yeah, not only does McFadden take up for Jaden Jones, he takes up for all his guys. That's one thing about DJ McFadden. He's very vocal in defending his players.
Yeah, it doesn't take long to really get in the groove with McFadden and realize why the players love him so much. 2nd and 23. Again, just a run play here with time running short before halftime. Give to Jones. That's going to run out the clock and send us to the half in a 21-13 game. Butler with the lead, and Independence will get the second half kickoff.
Hold on a second, Corey. There is a flag down because, of course, there is.
Yeah.
There's a flag down at about the 37-yard line, so we won't send you to the Ortho Carolina halftime report and Dr. Piasecki just yet. As you're looking at DJ McFadden pointing out something, you'll always be able to tell DJ by the shoes.
That's right.
The penalty is against Independence, and the referee is talking with Brian Hales here. It's an Independence penalty. I think the half would end here. It's a personal foul on Independence, and that will end the first half. So 21-13 will be our halftime score. Butler in front.
Well, some of the fans beat the players to the halftime party. They hit the concession stands and the facilities. We've hit halftime, 21-13. Butler, looking for a 4A title crown, leads at halftime 21-13 over Independence. Halftime is Coming up, Dr. Piasecki will chat with Sal Capretta and get that going, and we will come back, get you set for the second half. After this, one half in the books in our season finale, the Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series powered by Ortho Carolina. Second half back after the break in the interview.
Oh, man. There's nothing I love more than a good trail mix. But a mountain bike trail, not so much. Oh, hey. My pedal. Wonder where the other one is.
From urgent care to your full recovery, Ortho Carolina is there every step of the way.
Good day, though. Good day.
And welcome to the second installment of our halftime show for the Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series powered by Ortho Carolina. During these shows, we get the privilege to sit down with some of the leading doctors at Ortho Carolina and talk about sports medicine. And today we have Dr. Piasecki joining us today. How are you, doctor?
I'm great, Sal. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. No, we're excited to have you on. And kind of how we've been starting these is, if you don't mind giving the audience a little background about yourself and your role at Ortho Carolina.
Sure. So I'm a sports medicine orthopedic surgeon who practices in our sports medicine center in Charlotte. So I do nothing but take care of sports injuries and have done it for the last 15 years. That's all we see. We eat, breathe, and sleep athletes. And our main goal is to keep athletes from getting hurt. And if they do get hurt, figuring out how to treat them the absolute best way possible.
Awesome. And as you know, we're kind of currently doing our halftime show for the rivalry series, and we're talking football. So kind of diving into that, despite its high potential for injury, football remains one of the most popular sports for school-aged kids. What precautions do you advise parents to ensure their kids are safe on the field and in practice?
Yeah, so the best way, I think, to stay safe in football is obviously it's a risky sport. That's just part of the game. That's part of the way it goes. It's one of the things that makes it popular, both for athletes and for spectators, is there's a little bit of risk there. But the best way to stay safe, three things I usually recommend to my patients and my athletes. The first is conditioning. So you want to make sure that you've got all the normal protective mechanisms of your body, the things that are going to keep you from getting hurt normally. You want to make sure those things are primed before you actually play. So all the strength and conditioning stuff that your coaches have you do in the off season that you keep doing throughout the season, all the cardiovascular work, so you don't get too tired in a game. Those are really important things because you want your body to be able to react the way it needs to if you get hit in an awkward way. And we know that a lot of injuries happen at the end of games when athletes are tired. So you want to make sure your conditioning is up to snuff. So that's the first thing, conditioning. Second thing is technique, which is what all high school football athletes at this point should know, but how to tackle correctly, how to get hit correctly. Those are the things your coaches harp on in practices. You want to not forget those things. Don't do spear tackling techniques and the stuff that will get you really injured. So technique. And the last thing is equipment. It's a collision sport. So you want to make sure that your pads fit right. You've got a good helmet, especially the helmet, and that your cleats and everything else are dialed in. And that if they start getting worn out, you let your trainer know.
The ACL tear, as it's one of the most common injuries in football. How often do you see the ACL injury, and kind of what does that recovery process look like?
Yeah, so ACL tears, they're unfortunately really common. Since I specialize in that area, it's something I see all the time. It's the most common operation actually that I do in my practice. So it's a super common type of injury, but it's fortunately one of the best in terms of the recovery and what athletes are able to get back to. So the vast majority of athletes will get back to playing at the same level that they were playing before the injury, which is rare as surgeries go. But the recovery, basically what it looks like is you have the operation, which is an outpatient surgery. So you get to go home the same day. Usually you're seeing the therapist pretty regularly for the first several months after that injury, but getting back into light exercise after like 6 to 12 weeks. And then we dial in the more functional rehab stuff towards the end of the process so that you can go back and play at your best, usually somewhere between 6 and 9 months. There's a variation there depending on the injury and the athlete, but it's usually a 6 to 9 month recovery. Fortunately, it works out great. The vast majority of the time, athletes get back and do the stuff that they want to do, but it does take a while. So we spend a lot of time trying to prevent those injuries so that athletes are never in that situation in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of just like you detailed there, how long that recovery process is. So what do you recommend or kind of ways that players can avoid that injury?
Yeah, so the ACL specifically in football and most sports actually is an injury that usually happens not with contact. So as opposed to a lot of the like breaks and tears that we'll see in other parts of the body, even in collision sports like football, usually the way it happens is with what we call a non-contact injury. So usually it's a running back running down the field and they cut and they pivot to avoid an oncoming defender. They never even get touched, but because they twist on the knee the way that they do, the ligament tears. And so we've learned that making the muscles around the hip and the knee and the lower back really, really, really strong and really, really, really coordinated, that's likely to prevent ACL tears more than anything else, more than bracing, more than any type of medication or injection. It's usually a rehab performance issue. And a lot of that stuff you can pressure test in the off season with training with the strength and conditioning coaches and all the stuff that the team organizations usually try to really push. So the best way really is the conditioning, fitness, and all that neuromuscular training.
The final question I have for you today, Doctor, is kind of taking a deeper dive into Ortho Carolina itself. So your guys' slogan is the better choice. Can you talk to us more about why that's your team slogan and what it means to you?
Yeah, sure. Happy to. So I definitely believe that passionately. We're the best choice out there. And there are three things I think that make us unique. The first is experience. Experience in treating sports injuries is absolutely critical because sports injuries are not like a broken bone by itself, which is pretty straightforward. A lot of these injuries have tons of nuances to them. Where the tear is, how bad is the ligament injury, the sport that the athlete plays, where they are in school, where they are in their season, what their goals are for the end of that season if they want to play in college or go on and play at a professional level. So understanding the nuances of how to deal with all of those different factors is critical for coming up with the best treatment plan. And what I have found in my practice, and I think my partners in the Sports Medicine Center would agree with this, the longer you do focused sports medicine treatment of athletes, the more likely it is you'll actually be able to avoid surgery for them. So experience allows you to come up with the best treatment that you can have and one that is the quickest. So experience, and we have that in our Sports Medicine Center. We have almost 100 years of combined only sports focused experience. So experience is the first thing. The second is depth. Ortho Carolina has every subspecialty covered. So I'm a sports medicine specialist, but we have nationally recognized and internationally recognized experts in every field of orthopedics. So if our high school athletes happen to have an injury that is outside of the sports realm, like a spine injury, really bad hand injury, foot and ankle injuries, those are things we can use a team-based approach with our partners to get the absolute world-class type treatment that they need. So experience and depth. And then the last thing is access. So you do not need to wait a long time to see us. We're some of the best in the world at treating these injuries, but you often can see us within a day. And so we have a number of ways to do that. You can come in and just walk in. Oftentimes athletes can do walk-in appointments. You can schedule online. You can come to one of our orthopedic urgent cares, or you can use the Hurt app, which we've recently partnered with, which puts you in instantaneous touch with a specialist to try to figure out what to do with an injury. So experience, depth, and access.
Awesome. Well, again, Doctor, thank you so much for taking some time to chat with our audience here during the intermission.
It's my pleasure, Sal. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. And with that, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back for the second half of the Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series, powered by Ortho Carolina.
Max has been practicing to be a professional soccer player his whole life.
I think I broke my knee. I think I broke my collarbone. I can do better. Let me take that from the top.
From your first real urgent care visit to full recovery, Ortho Carolina is there every step of the way.
I think I broke my ALC.
It's ACL. He's getting really good.
Bella is also contacting the Butler football team. One of the research she plans to study in marine biology and occupational therapy. Bella's favorite marching band name is the Church of Zion. Next is Rithik Ramkumar. so proud of you all. This is a night to celebrate all that you've accomplished in your high school career, so savor this moment with your family and your friends. One final night. They will perform one last time on the field after the football game, so I encourage you to all stay and cheer them on as they perform this year's show behind the smile.
Park is celebrating its 150th anniversary. Let's take a look back.
Deer Park, that's good water.
You can taste how pure Deer Park is.
Deer Park, that's good water.
Filtered naturally beneath the earth for a crisp, refreshing taste.
Deer Park.
Deer Park.
Deer Park. Deer Park.
That's still good water.
After 150 years, there's only one thing left to say. Deer Park, that's still good water.
How did you all get in here?
We are back following halftime in a 21-13 game. Butler leading Independence as, again, the winner takes home the Southwestern 4A title. So still so much on the line in these upcoming 24 minutes. Corey Hodges, Armand Brody, Jay Bell, our entire team back here with you, ready to go for half number 2, Armand, and a game that certainly saw its twists and turns, and especially so twisting and turning with that early punt return that was mishandled by Butler. It led to an Independence touchdown. Independence was able to get some momentum early. Then Butler took over. We saw Zach Lawrence throwing the ball proficiently, leading his team. And still lingering in this game is that blocked extra point that Butler blocked off of the try by Copera. If Copera had gotten it, it would be a one-score game. As it is, this is 21-13, an 8-point game at half. That's one of the many stories that we're going to be watching in this second half.
This game has been unsurprisingly bizarre. I think that's a good way to put it. We've had some of everything. You had the Macon touchdown catch to start it. Butler goes up 7-0. You had the Currents muff. Then Little takes it in for Independence to tie the game at 7. You had a Butler snap go over the punter, recovered by Indy, and then Jaden Jones scores. That's when the extra point was blocked, 13-7 at that point, Indy. Then Jaden Williams has a touchdown catch, 14-13 Butler. Jaden Williams gets another touchdown, 21-13 Butler. Blown coverage by Independence there. And then, of course, don't forget, Independence blocks a late Butler field goal towards the end of the first half. And, oh, by the way, Phil Harris gets the interception of Justin Little in the first half as well. We had some of everything, which means the second half should be just as exciting.
It really was a back-and-forth kind of game, and consequently is the best way to put it. It's an 8-point Butler lead as we start the second half with Independence ready to receive, and it's a touchback.
And that's another touchback by Nick.
So Nicholas Reddish stays in the end zone, and here come the Patriots down by 8.
And I would expect for Independence here to try to get back to establishing the run game and finding different ways to get Jaden Jones the ball, including out of the backfield on a pass play if the opportunity presents itself. But you know as well that Justin Little is a threat. And I'm looking for Will Brown to have a louder second half here than what we saw in the first half.
7 touchdowns on the season. We haven't heard much from Brown or Birch except once apiece. Speaking of Jaden Jones, Armand, he does get the first carry, the first touch of the second half, and doesn't get much as Nick Darling is in there to stop him. Second down coming up. They will give Jones 2 yards.
So Jaden Jones had some fumble problems in that Catholic game, and he was taken out. DJ McFadden took him out, and I love what McFadden said. It just made him mad, and I think Jaden Jones plays better when he runs mad.
It was a great story going back to that Charlotte Catholic game about how Jones really dug himself out of a hole in that game. 2nd and 8. Jones gets it on a second straight carry, looking for room on the outside, then cuts it back in. Comes up with another small gain there, stopped by Shinley Prevalon, 3rd down.
Butler brings a blitz from the right side of the Independence offensive line, and they run the play to the left, getting Butler a bit off balance.
Little again, a really high snap. He gives it away to Jones on his 3rd straight touch. Here goes Jaden Jones. Jones inside the 50-yard line, gets to the 49-yard line of Butler and just moves it for a first down, crosses midfield and gets it out for a gain of 22 yards.
Good luck trying to bring Jaden Jones down, man.
Yeah.
My gracious.
1st and 10. Cleaner snap that time. Here's Jones. Check it that time. Yeah, Little did keep it. It was more like it was a block put out in front by Travis Hill. Hill was trying to block for Little, as you said, Armand. So 2nd down, got a yard.
Will Brown came to pull as well, trying to give Justin Little some more space.
2nd and 9 from the Butler 48-yard line. It is still Travis Hill, the running back for Independence. Hill this season, 309 yards and 5 touchdowns. Little shovel to Hill. Hill off to the races. Hill has a first down and gets this one past the 35-yard line on a positive gain of almost 15 yards.
Independence is getting North Carolina Houston replay. They're getting a lot of movement on that left side as Butler comes crashing in. They're able to bounce to the outside and pick up some big gains here to start this third quarter.
Give Little a gain of 14 on that shovel pass from Justin Little. It is Jaden Jones back in, gets it. Jones just over the 30-yard line, about a gain of 4, maybe 5, 2nd down.
This offensive line is doing some good work here to start this second half. Number 50, Kevin Caldwell. Number 51, Sadiq Ali, really doing a great job of manhandling some of these Butler defenders up front.
This is an Independence team. Sometimes DJ McFadden has to slow down the running back coach to not push Jaden Jones so hard because of how great of a weapon he is. 2nd and 6. One in motion, but Jones will get it. Here goes Jaden Jones. Jones breaks out. Jones stays up, pulled down at the end. Did Jones cross the plane for the touchdown? He did. 30-yard touchdown rush for Jaden Jones, his 14th rushing score of 2023. And we've heard it all season from DJ McFadden, Armand, talking about Jaden Jones. He has breakaway speed.
Yes, he does. Coming into this game, as you take a look at the Ortho Carolina instant replay, coming into this game, Jaden Jones is averaging well over 10 yards a carry. And like we talked about, over 1,000 yards on just 70-some-odd carries in this season.
Extra point by Copera is good as Independence opts for the extra point instead of the try for 2 to tie the game. So it's still a Butler lead. That blocked extra point looming large, 21-20. But Butler's lead is down to 1 on the 2nd touchdown of the game for Jaden Jones. Time now for Deer Park and Blue Cross and Blue Shield as well of North Carolina, also the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. They've partnered again this year to celebrate high school women's athletics in the state of North Carolina. During each week of the football season, Blue Cross North Carolina is selecting one school to receive a $1,000 donation, and Butler High School was recognized as a recipient here at tonight's game. In total, Blue Cross North Carolina is giving $14,000 to support high school women's athletics in North Carolina. That is very impressive and a commendable effort by Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and Deer Park.
You talked about it a second ago, but an interesting call there by DJ McFadden. I was certainly expecting him to go for 2.
Me too.
But he takes the extra point, and that blocked extra point continues to rear its ugly head for Independence here as we move forward in this game with 8:57 left in the third.
That's the only difference right now. Copera spins this one. It's picked up on the return by Holman. And Holman out of bounds at around the 25-yard line, pushed out by Skylar Murray and company, and Butler will have it back. Still leading, albeit by 1, but still leading Butler. They're back out looking to respond to that last Jaden Jones touchdown.
Haven't heard a lot from Skylar Murray on the defensive end, but what did DJ McFadden tell us about Skylar? He says, if we were to have a defensive MVP on this team, Skylar is the guy.
Yeah, one of the many players that DJ McFadden had so much to say, so many congratulatory remarks to say as he has seen this unit throughout the season. They did mark it at the 25s. That's where Butler's next drive will start. Here's Lawrence throwing one incomplete off the fingertips of Jaden Williams, who has a receiving score in this game. 2nd down.
It's been the battle of the Jadens here in this game. Jaden Jones on one side. He's got 2 touchdowns for Independence. Jaden Williams on the other side with 2 touchdowns for Butler.
2nd and 10. Speaking of Jaden Williams, he's going to get it again. Williams with a massive hit out of bounds and a flag coming in too. Jones picks up about 5, but it sounds like this foul and this penalty is going to be on Independence, so add more to that forthcoming.
That's the senior linebacker, Keegan Quigley. Keegan didn't think it was a late hit. The flag was thrown a bit late. They're right there on the Butler sideline as you take a look at DJ McFadden talking with his linebacker. There's the call from the referee. It happened right on the Butler sideline, so they saw it all.
Oh, yeah. It should be 15 yards after the spot of the penalty if it's unsportsmanlike in the late hit.
Yep, they're marching forward.
Wow.
Those penalties, man.
So now Butler is going to have it right at midfield.
How about that sign, Corey? That's when you know a rivalry is pretty heated. Sit, stay, good dog. Independent side over there. Letting their voices be heard in this conference title matchup.
From the 48-yard line, Jaden Williams. Williams at about the 41-yard line, so gets it into Independence territory and picks up 11 yards on that carry. A first down for Butler.
And Brian Hales even said, look, I know a lot of things are going on with this offense, but we still want to run the ball.
Williams getting it again. Williams inside the 40 to around the 39. Got a 2-yard pickup, short pickup, 2nd down.
I just want to follow up on that point. He even said during the week with us that we've been leaning on the run. They've had some injuries with their receivers.
Yeah.
But let's not forget that Butler's MO, Butler's identity throughout the years has been the run game, and that really has not changed under head coach Brian Hales, who's in his 13th year as the head man.
Yeah, this offensive line, Brian Hales, so proud of the offensive line, shouting out a number of players and got some returners back too. Lawrence giving again to Williams, who gets clattered back. They're waiting on this. Check that. Keyshawn Barino that time. 3rd down.
You're looking at Caden Thomas, and even with that play, this Butler offensive line is getting great push and really shoving some Independence defenders around here on this drive.
It is 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6. Lawrence sends Williams split out, so 5 wide. Here's Lawrence under pressure. Lawrence gets away from a would-be tackler, gets it away to Jaden Williams, who will be tackled short, about 4 yards short of the first down. It's 4th down, and the miraculous thing was that Lawrence got a second shot at this.
You're absolutely right. This is Ortho Carolina instant replay. That's no ordinary player there that he gets away from. He slithers away from Caden Thomas there to Zach Lawrence just to get that play off. And credit to him with some toughness and some physicality and staying upright to keep that play alive.
4th down, and the offense staying put. 4th and 4.
Yeah, they don't want to kick a 52-yard field goal here.
20 seconds on the play clock, so it doesn't look like Butler's going to try the hard count. They've still got 13 seconds left. That's a lot of hard counting if they want to do that. 6 seconds on the play clock. Snap to Lawrence. Butler needs 4 yards to pick it up. That one intercepted right on the sideline. Picked off by Quentin Reddish. Reddish finding that route and picking it off. Independence football.
And Quentin Reddish, the same man who had 2 interceptions of Zach Lawrence last year. As you take a look at the Ortho Carolina instant replay, Reddish does it again. Watch him read, and he just jumps the route. That's an outstanding play by an experienced player, No wonder he's on his way to Virginia Tech to continue his football career.
Yeah, that is interception number 16 this season, Armand, for Independence. That's Quentin Reddish's team-leading 4th interception. At the 26-yard line, the Patriots have it, trailing by just a point. Another possibility for the game to turn. Quick flip to Brian Crowder. Got a flag. Crowder is past the 30, close to the 35, as the penalty flag flew.
I think they're going to get a hold on Colleton Belcher on the outside. And there's the call.
You got it.
We've seen an interception from Little, interception from Lawrence, and in both cases, pretty outstanding plays by the defenders, Phil Harris and Quentin Reddish.
It's an Independence team and a Butler team. Kind of goes back and forth. The physicality, the finesse, both teams, a clash of styles possibly. McFadden coming into this game, priding ourselves, he said, on physicality early in the game. Now that we're into the second half, it's another chance to change the perception here for Independence, trailing by a point, 21-20 Butler. Here's Little and company after the penalty. It's 1st and 19. Give goes to Jaden Jones. Jones, no room. Pursuit kept up by Ian Coleman. Coleman never quit. 2nd down and long coming up.
You know, Corey, you talk about changing the perception and talking about physicality. And DJ McFadden, you're looking at him right there calling the plays for this offense. DJ was offended because there was some talk that this Independence team was not physical, that they were just a finesse team and that Butler was more physical than them. And DJ said, we took that personally.
They did. It was probably the biggest talking point coming into this game. McFadden went on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, went out and he voiced his opinions there too. Little floats it. Not much of a gain here. Never really got a chance for it to get started as he flipped it to Hill, and it will be 3rd down and long. This drive's going nowhere.
The 3rd down and long in this game.
Yeah, Country Mile is right. 3rd and 14. This is 3rd and Highway 64 going back to the East Coast.
Another flag down here now. That timeout by Butler first. Looks like a timeout by Butler.
You know, to that point.
No flag, timeout. Yep, Corey.
Yeah, to that point, Armand, it's something that deserves a little bit more, you know, talk about it. It's two teams coming in with obviously a lot to prove. It's a title game after all, but again, this was such a great story coming into this game because you've got DJ McFadden. Everyone knows his success as a quarterback at Independence. Of course, Chris Leak from Independence as well back in the day, and then of course you go up against Butler, a team that of course is here at home trying to win this 4A title game. But yeah, it's finesse against physicality, and McFadden talking to us on Zoom earlier in the week, second time we've had a chance to talk to him this season. He said, look, we're going to try to change the perception tonight, but he really feels, McFadden does, it's a lot of it because he used to play quarterback. Now he's a coaching former quarterback, but again, he feels like this offense for Independence isn't so much finesse as it is just balanced. 1,700 rushing yards, 1,500 passing yards. He feels like his team can throw or rush 30 times per game to do what they need to do. So again, he feels like, kind of like Justin Little feels like, they should be due a little bit more respect. Obviously, you win this game tonight, you're going to get it. But it was a big storyline coming into this game.
They have fully embraced the underdog role.
Right.
The why not us role.
That's right, which is a dangerous role to be in for the opponent. 3rd and long. Butler's coming to play. Nothing for Travis Hill. 4th down on the way. Hill never got a chance to run downhill, and it's 4th down, and Independence will set up the punt, still trailing by 1.
That's a great play by the senior Neo Espinoza, one of the seniors. Started out as a defensive back, then moved to that linebacker spot, and it's paid off. He is so good, knows how to flow to the football, great pursuit, and he makes the stop to force the 4th down.
Copera, you got to watch every snap now on special teams. because we've already had a number of them blocked. Copera is back ready to punt. That one high to Copera. Gets it away clean, but this one is pretty much sky high. It's going to come up about 10 yards short of Currents, and it's fielded on the hop by Trey Garnes inside plus territory here for Butler coming up. Ortho Carolina committed to empowering those who may be impacted by injuries. And also in partnership with the Hurt mobile app, Ortho Carolina provides free, on-the-go, real-time access to orthopedic specialists, and they do that 365 days a year. Prepare yourself now for those unexpected moments by downloading the Hurt app. Do it tonight. Ortho Carolina committed to being the better choice. Butler has the football back. They start from their own 45-yard line, and Williams gets about 2 yards out of that, second down.
I want to give some love to Skylar Murray, who was tracking him down, chasing in pursuit on that first down carry.
At 3, so 2nd and 7 from the 42 for Butler, leading 21-20. About 3.5 minutes left in the third. Lawrence hangs in. Lawrence completes to Currents. Currents gets out of a tackle for about an extra yard as he broke away from Nicholas Reddish. And that is enough for a first down for Butler.
And you know they're going to want to get the Quadre Currents going here as this third quarter winds down.
This is Jaden Williams. Williams stays up. Williams to about the 23-yard line on the carry, following the pickup by Currents, and Lawrence gives it right back to Williams.
Cleveland Graham, number 50 on that offensive line, just so strong.
Butler is moving so quick. Again, they're beating the chain gang here on 2nd and short. They're going to move it up. Again, another quick handoff to Williams for a quick first down, with Butler right now just on the fringes of the red zone.
Butler pounding it here as you see Jaden Williams getting a well-deserved water break. Whew. Definitely earned that one.
Hopefully some Deer Park water in that bottle. Too easy.
Yes, sir.
Too easy.
Yes, sir.
Deer Park, that's some good water. Lawrence under center. One in motion, that's Currents. DeQuandre Currents on the end around, cuts back, has a block. Maybe a yard. He saw Aiden Cooper there and decided to dive in where Cooper was for a minimal gain. It's 3rd down and 7.
To play Butler's run a couple of times in this game tonight, and that time number 22, Chris Clark, did a really nice job playing his position, playing his assignment, staying where he needed to be to help slow down that play.
3rd and 7 at the 20-yard line for Butler. In field goal range for Konazinski, but they're looking for 6, not 3. Here's Lawrence. Slings it, incomplete. Target was Donovan Pollard. It's 4th down.
It's a good thought, good idea over the middle. With 4th and 7 now, I wonder if they're going to bring out the kicking unit. I don't see Konazinski out there.
No.
Brian Hales rolling the dice in this game.
There's 17 seconds on the play clock, so it's not slim enough for the hard count again, so I think Butler's going for this. Minute 45. Okay,
yep.
Now there's the timeout. So
yeah, DJ McFadden was jumping around over there on the far side trying to get some sort of message across to his team. And they're going to talk this one over. This is a gigantic play in this game right now.
With a minute 45 to go, a field goal gets you a 4-point lead if you're Butler. Obviously, a touchdown continues to make that 1-point difference stand out. Again, that's what's looming in all of this. And you're talking about DJ McFadden for Independence, and someone, first of all, that you can't miss visually because of what he wears out there. You know, he's always decked out in his yellow and gold. As you see some of the big plays of the night, of course, Jaden Jones.
Yeah, he has had quite an evening with a couple of touchdowns for this Independence team.
two evenly matched teams tonight. And I always like what you do, Armand, during our Zoom calls. I love how you phrase it too. You ask one of the coaches to kind of write the intro for the game, and what did McFadden tell you? He said it's Bruce Buffer time.
That's what he said.
Champ versus champ. Heavyweight fight.
These teams knew that it was going to be a knockdown drag out, and it's most assuredly been that.
The bell's not here yet. It's 4th and 7. Lawrence, here comes the sack. Lawrence goes down. He's pulled down by Keegan Quigley, and it's a turnover on downs as Independence brought the pressure from number 9.
Ortho Carolina instant replay. DJ Rankin, the defensive coordinator, dials it up, and not a chance in the world for Zach Lawrence that time as Keegan comes in and blows that play up before it ever had a chance, and Independence will get the ball back near the 30-yard line with a chance to take the lead.
Quigley has 3 sacks on the season, getting his 3rd in this title game for the 4A crown. So trailing by 1, 98 seconds left in the 3rd. Here's Independence back with Little and Jaden Jones in the backfield. We'll start at the 30-yard line following the sack and the turnover on downs. Jones gets it. Jones kind of snuffs his way ahead for a yard or 2, 2nd down.
As a linebacker, you've got like a split second to react, especially when you've got weapons as dangerous as Jaden Jones. You've got a split second to see what's happening and to try to make a play. And they put a lot of pressure on these linebackers to stand tall and do their job.
Jones got 2. Here's Little, far side, hooking up with Brian Crowder. And Crowder has a 1st down and a flag at the end.
Yep, this play is not going to stand for Independence. They're going to get a hold on the far side there on that screen. DJ McFadden trying to plead his case. It's going to be to no avail. On those screen plays, it's all about trying to block without getting your hands too far inside. We've been talking with some of these coaches, and that's what they talk about. The key to a good block, keep your hands inside, not outside, because now you make yourself more visible to the officials.
Yeah, I remember that great conversation we had earlier this season, last month, when we just got a total show, a total conference on tackling fundamentals that, again, was like some of those master classes that you see on YouTube. It was so good we could have paid for that lesson.
Yeah.
Wow. I'll never forget that. That was a great little class in tackling and how to be a great offensive lineman.
We don't have live stats, but I would be curious to know how many penalties Independence has, and of those penalties, how many of them are holds, because there have been quite a few of them.
Yes, that is something that's looming, along with that missed extra point. The penalties are there too. Here's Little, 2nd and long. It got tipped. Unfortunate there for Little that one did not fall down to the hands of anyone for Butler. It was tipped by Jaden Farmer. 3rd and 14 coming up.
Sure was. Jaden Farmer, 6'4", 275-pound junior, and he's an athletic big one. Here he comes. He was running off. Now he's coming back to try and make another play. Butler scrambling a bit defensively, trying to get players off the field.
Ooh, Independence just snapped this. Little goes deep. Little off the fingertips of Vontrez Birch. That could have been the big hitter to Birch. He couldn't pull it in. He was good as gone if he had kept his footing and nabbed it. 4th down.
And now Birch is hurt. He's down in some pain. But, a missed opportunity for Independence. They knew they had the substitution penalty on Butler, and Little put just a little bit too much on it, trying to get it to Birch.
It's Birch who is still down. He is propping himself up on his left elbow. They're working on that hamstring, working on that right lower leg and hamstring.
Yeah, so they have gotten the penalty call straightened out as you continue to look at Vontrez Birch. But just a missed opportunity there as maybe he hurt himself trying to extend and try and make that catch as it was thrown just a bit beyond him. Birch had that big touchdown against Catholic in the game we saw last month.
Yeah, that was the late play that really put that game away with Birch, who again 7 receiving touchdowns on the season. He, along with Will Brown, the top 2 targets for Justin Little.
And not only is Birch a good receiver, but he's a great blocker on the outside too.
Yeah.
So you lose a lot with Vontrez Birch not in the game. And DJ McFadden talked about his maturity, not just as a player, but as a young man.
Yeah, Birch. It's 3rd and 9. So another shot here for Independence. 36 seconds left in the third. Trailing by a point. So everything matters here for Independence, who is still battling that blocked extra point, the crooked number on the scoreboard.
Timeout Independence. The play clock was at 0,
Yeah.
and DJ McFadden caught it, and he is livid over there because his team did not get that play off in time, and he had to call a second timeout. And in this game, timeouts are going to be crucial down the stretch, and Independence only has 1 left.
So add another storyline to this game. First of all, you're battling the crooked number. Second of all, you got to wonder about Birch right now, if he can come back, if he can recover quickly, get back into this game. And now, just 1 timeout left in this title game that you can utilize over the final 12 minutes, 36 seconds of regulation. 1 timeout, all that Independence has left.
They are still working on Birch on the trainer's table on the Independence sideline. Birch is such an interesting story of perseverance and endurance. This is really the first time he's played football, right, at this level.
Yeah.
You're talking about the guy who coming into a storied program like Independence and still young and figuring some things out. But he has been big for Independence, and they certainly want to have him back in this game.
That's Birch, who Independence hopes can still be a factor here. 3rd and 9 following the timeout, as McFadden got that timeout in right before it would have been a 5-yard penalty and backed up Independence even more. Still 3rd and 9, empty backfield here for Little. Little drops, looking for the stick. Maybe just short of it is Will Brown. He caught Brown, and Brown turned upfield. We'll see where Brown gets marked, and if he got enough. I'm thinking maybe about 2 yards short. It's pretty much where they'll mark it. 4th and 2.
Yeah, I've been waiting on Will Brown to make some more noise in the receiving game. He's so active as a blocker on that offensive line. He leaks out there and tries to get enough space there, and Butler was there to swarm him and surround him and to shut him down before he could pick up the first down to force a 4th and 2.
Lyric Copera to punt. Back to return is the always dangerous Taquandre Currents. Can Copera get it off clean? He does. Bouncing out on the far side and away from Currents. 22 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter.
If you notice, though, Corey, we're not as hectic as we were in the first half. And
right.
I almost feel like these teams have settled down a bit because the pace is still pretty rapid.
Yeah.
And we're still getting some penalties. But I do feel like the both teams have settled into this game a little bit, and they've exhaled and are starting to play football and not play a championship game, even though they understand the significance of this contest.
Yeah, it is a noticeable turn in terms of the way this game is being played. The pace has definitely slowed down. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line is Butler late in the 3rd. Jalen Williams scurries out close to the yard to gain marker.
It's a flag. It's a hold on Butler, Corey.
Yeah, Williams and that more than likely first down pickups coming back.
So I talk all that talk about the penalties and the whole thing.
Right.
And then as soon as I say that, I eat my words.
Yeah.
Butler picks up a hole. So it's 10 yards from the spot of the penalty. So it's 1st and like 18.
Yeah. First and 18, they'll mark it at the 27-yard line, so now Butler goes empty. Lawrence trying to get Currents going. Currents splits 2 tackles. DeQuandre Currents still up. Currents being pulled down right at midfield. He gets a late push just over into Independence territory on a pickup of 23 yards and a flag at the end as Currents split 2 Independence defenders right here before we get to basketball season.
It's another hold on Butler. Oh, DeQuandre, you delight us, sir. That was a thing of beauty, but it's all coming back. How did he split those 2 defenders? I thought for sure Independence had a great tackle there, and DeQuandre says, not a chance, not on my watch, but the holding penalty moves him back even more.
So take away 23 yards. That would have put Butler at midfield, and it spoils the so far highlight of the night with the split between 2 defenders for Currents. That was a pro move that unfortunately amounts to nothing, as right now the clock's reading all zeros at the end of the third.
So there'll be 1 untimed down here. It's first and 23 from the 22. And this will be the last play of the quarter, we think.
Right, yeah. And again, Butler goes 5 wide here to close down the third. See if they go for that same wide receiver screen play or whether Lawrence tries something out deep. Lawrence drops, puts it through, dangerous pass, incomplete. Looking for Macon. Let's go to the fourth quarter after this on the NFHS Network.
Do better. Let me take that from the top.
From your first real urgent care visit to full recovery, Ortho Carolina is there every step of the way.
I think I broke my ALC.
It's ACL. He's getting really good.
We are back. It's the fourth quarter. Corey Hodges, Armand Brody, Jay Bell, our entire team back here with you for our final quarter of regulation in our 2023 Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series that's been powered all season long by Ortho Carolina. And the situation is this: 2nd and long, 2nd and 23 for Butler as they work now left to right, leading by 1, 21-20, with the winner getting the Southwestern 4A crown here with the cream of the crop in Charlotte High School football, going at it on this late October Friday night when it feels like June, but it's almost November, and the craziness of the weather has transferred into some craziness in this game with penalties abound, defensive plays electric, and it's a 1-point game. So far, the difference, that blocked extra point that Butler got hands on, and that is so far the difference maker. Zach Lawrence got it to Barrino, and Barrino to the 45 of Independence on a pickup for Barrino.
And this is great placement by Lawrence on the Ortho Carolina instant replay. He's got to put that thing between 2 defenders, and Lawrence puts it on the money for him.
Pick up a 33, Barrino from Lawrence inside of Independence territory. That's how the first 20 seconds of the fourth start. Here's Lawrence quickly to Macon, and Macon inside the 40-yard line now. Picks up about 6-7 more. Butler's on the move.
It is so hard to not root for Macon. You see that brace on his right knee. He's just been pushing through injuries all season long, but that's how desperately he wants to win a championship for this Butler team.
They'll get making 10 yards that time, so that is 2 straight first down pickups. 1st and 10 from the 35. Here's Lawrence. That one jumbled, but then pulled back in by Currents. And Currents still getting yards after the play. He did well to pull it in and hold on to it, and that's another first down. 3 straight first downs.
Ortho Carolina H-them replay, and all I can say is the Quandre Currents is a dangerous somebody. Even the juggles end up spectacular.
This drive on that last play, 15 yards, Lawrence to Currents. 1st and 10 as Butler's arrived at the red zone. From the 20. Lawrence under center. Faking the flip was Lawrence, just a running play that gets back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd down.
I'm thinking it's still about the Quandre Currents, and you know, some players are Swiss Army knives.
Yeah.
The Quandre's the whole set, man. He's the whole knife set.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Currents.
It's an innate gift, Corey.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah, Currents, Brian Hales compares him to Clifton Duck back in the day for Butler in that he plays offense and defense. He can return kicks. He can do it all for those that remember Clifton from back in the days of Butler years gone by. Just a 1-yard pickup. It's going to be more than that here. Phil Harris, who can play offense and defense as well, he picks it up, and it'll be 3rd and short.
Yeah, Phil has those sure hands as a receiver and defensive back.
Give goes to Jaden Williams. Needed a yard for the first down. That's what he got. And so a fresh set coming out and coming up for Butler. It will be 1st and goal from the 10.
Hesitant to try to pop in some color, Corey, because when I start talking, they start running the play.
And Butler doesn't take long. They are up tempo. It's 1st and goal from the 6. Lawrence. That's a touchdown. Lawrence to DeQuandre Currents, who turns up and gets 6 points from the 6-yard line. And Currents with those Clifton Duck comparisons, making his comparison proud.
Ortho Carolina Ancient replay. He had to snag that thing a bit, Corey. It was not thrown perfectly, but Currents is sure-handed. He brings it in, scores the touchdown for him.
Now it makes it 27-20, but we're not done yet with the extra point coming. Remember, that continues to be the difference. We do have a player down, though, after the Currents touchdown. In fact, no, it's not a player. It's one of the officials. We'll get a hand up. He's got the hat back on as well, so that is good to see. Maybe an entanglement of bodies following that Currents touchdown. Sometimes the refs just get caught up in the middle of it too.
Yeah. Caught up in the crosswinds.
Yeah, right. Luckily he's okay. They're a lot less protected than the players, so I'd like to see those officials jump up quick. But again, what is to come, this extra point to make it an 8-point game. So that continues to be kind of the thing that's sticking in the craw of Independence, is that this is not the final part of this touchdown scoring drive. Still an extra point to come. And that 1 point keeps looming large. Instead of being down by 7, you go down, maybe try to score for your Independence, get an extra point and tie it. You can go down and do that. But eventually, if this stays the course, Armand, we're going to eventually have to see a 2-point try from Independence.
And we were a little surprised that even after they scored to get their 20th point,
yes,
when it was a 21-19 before the extra point.
Right.
We were a little surprised that DJ McFadden and the Independent staff didn't go for 2 then.
Yes. Because again, how many opportunities will you have to score that touchdown and try for 2? The only way you can think about it, Armand, is if McFadden thought, well, we don't want to do it now, we'll do it later, but what if you don't get back into that position? Could you imagine coming up short by a point because you didn't try the two-point conversion when you had it. That's still to come. But meanwhile, speaking of two-point conversions, here's Butler trying to do it too. Lawrence turns. Lawrence flips it, and Williams gets it for the two-point conversion. Now it's a 9-point lead. So Butler hears and discusses the 8-point difference and instead makes it 9.
Brian Hales, you sly dog. Ortho Carolina instant replay. They bring a blitz to that side. It comes from Dallas Brannon, the linebacker. And wide open in the flat is Williams for the two-point conversion. And now, Corey, we've been talking about it. That blocked extra point means so much right now because it's a 9-point game. That's 2 scores with 9.5 minutes left.
Now that is a total commitment to the situation on the scoreboard by Brian Hales. You're right. You know, he loves Jaden Williams. He even told us he'd be a great receiver, a guy who really understands spacing. You saw the beautiful spacing that time by Williams to get himself open. Really the second score tonight, a touchdown and a two-point conversion for Williams where he has had all the space in the world to get it in. And now that completely nullifies all the talk of where the phantom point, if you will come into play. A 9-point game. Independence can score now and get a two-point conversion and still be a point short. And they'll have it on the touchback. So, okay.
I can't help but wonder if DJ McFadden is having a moment right now where he's thinking to himself, had a shot after the block.
Exactly.
You can't change the pass, right?
No.
The extra point was blocked.
Yep.
But it was 21-19. They scored a touchdown on a 30-yard run by Jaden Jones. And they had an opportunity to go for 2 to tie the game. And DJ McFadden has so much swagger and so much confidence in his guys. And we were thinking up here, oh, surely he's going for 2. They did not. And right now, Butler's up 2 scores with 9.5 minutes left. And it's got to be weighing a bit on DJ McFadden right now.
I would say it has to be the thing he's thinking about the most. Is that now you're down by 9. Talk about crooked numbers in baseball. How about crooked numbers in football? Down by 9. So Independence knows what they need to do. Here's Little moving. Little goes deep. Oh, is it pulled in? Yes. Vontrez Birch is back, and Birch pulls it in.
Back at better than ever. Ortho Carolina instant replay, not just to make the catch, but somehow to be in bounds with it. What a play.
Oh, man, that's Birch. He's got 7 receiving scores on the season. That's what he can do. This is Jaden Jones. Jones gets a couple yards and then drive back. Check that. That is Travis Hill with the carry that time. Hill claws it out for about 2 yards, 2nd and 8.
How committed will Independence be to the run game here? They do have time. I like what they're doing with 9 minutes left, trying to stay balanced offensively.
2nd and 8 on the 44-yard line of Butler. Dangerous to Hill on the pass by Little, and Hill could not turn the corner against Tyquan Rankin. 3rd down and long.
That is not an ordinary defender. Tyquan Rankin is the defensive player of the year from a year ago. And that's a play Independence. They want to have that one back.
And that's been the conversation too, talking about McFadden and talking about, Tyquan Rankin the same way. He says he still reaches out to him, but right now he's a dangerous player. They know it. Here's Little on 3rd and long. Incomplete. Got a flag as Little was looking for Crowder. Flags back there where Little was.
Butler brought some pressure. Little ended up on the ground. And it's a flag on Butler for roughing the quarterback. My. A gift for the Patriots of Independence.
15-yard penalty on that roughing the passer. So here's Independence now. They're going to have this inside the 40. In fact, they'll mark it at the 34-yard line of Butler. So things have changed dramatically. Down by 9 points, and Independence's possession continues on a roughing the passer call. Little, again a high snap. Little hands this off to Landon Carr. First time Carr has made an appearance tonight. The 5'10 junior running back surges ahead. Second down and short.
These guys have been taught, man, get the ball, Ortho Carolina instant replay, you just pound it downhill. He runs off that right side, finds a hole, attacks it almost violently to pick up a nice gain.
2nd and 1 is coming up following the look at the injured player. Ortho Carolina, they've always been a leader in specialized orthopedic care, but now when urgent attention is needed, Ortho Carolina has urgent care options that focus on orthopedic injuries such as sprains, fractures, strains, and dislocations. You can count on Ortho Carolina to be the more efficient, reliable, and they're just the plain better choice when it comes to your care needs. Walk-ins are always welcome at 9 orthopedic urgent care locations in the Carolinas. Find a location near you. Log on, orthocarolina.com.
That was Ian Coleman, just a junior, one of their defensive standouts, and he seems to be okay. He was stretching it out over there as Corey was reading that announcement for you. Ian's just a junior, but Brian Hill says he feels like he's been here forever. It's the kind of maturity he possesses as a defensive star.
Another thing that's looming in this game in terms of a big storyline is the Lawrence and Little competition that goes back to junior varsity. These two quarterbacks battling here in varsity for the 4A Southwestern crown. You know, it goes back and forth. You know, the two guys duking it out at quarterback. Justin, he wants his say here in episode 3, as they call it. And it's a battle between Justin Little and Zach Lawrence. It goes back to their junior varsity days, and here's Little trying to lead his team back, down by 9 on 2nd and short. Handoff, needing a yard for the first down, gets that to move the chains for Independence. That time it's Landon Carr again. Fresh set for the Patriots.
Yep, that one moves the chains and allows Independence to get set offensively again. Jaden Jones still not back in there just yet.
It is still Landon Carr. Carr absorbing hits. Carr gets it right around the 10-yard line, just short of it. Another first down pickup for Independence.
Got a timeout by Butler here now, Corey. Timeout Butler with 7:18 left, and Butler still up 29-20.
So Carr is in. He's gotten the last couple of rushes. Carr on the season came in 21 carries, 117 yards, 2 touchdowns. Independence is on the move, needing a touchdown, of course, but in a position now to where, because you keep doing the math here, Armand, if you go down and you score and you just take it the traditional way, you're trailing by 2, which means then you need to get it back, get down, get a field goal to win. Or you try to score and get a 2-point conversion, make it a 1-point game again. Of course, all this is bearing if Independence scores a touchdown, but I think the biggest story, I'm sure you probably would agree, Armand, is watching what happens if Independence scores a touchdown, what strategy they play.
Yeah, and it all goes back to a blocked extra point. And DJ McFadden's decision to not go for 2 when they got the score to make it 21-20.
Yep, 13-yard gain last time for Carr. He will get it again. First and goal from the 10. Carr, maybe a yard. 2nd and goal.
And now I was just getting ready to say, when is Jaden Jones coming back in? And here he is, number 21 in white and gold, to for the Independence fans, hopefully for them, punch it into the end zone here.
DJ McFadden is the play caller. And he had to take a step back earlier in the season, calling the plays now. This time Jones gets dialed up as he gets right back into the game. He gets nothing, 3rd and goal.
I do think Independence needs to consider, I mean, it's a 3rd down now, so you would think they'd go to the air here, but it's not that you want to abandon balance, but time is not on your side here, down 2 scores with 6.5 left, down 9.
Calling it right now, 3rd and 7 from the 8, so it's not goal to go yet. We're in that same position again. This one is caught by Birch on the throw by Little. Just short of the end zone is Birch.
Ortho Carolina instant replay, a quick pass to Birch, man, and I tell you, he's so dependable. They bring a blitz, they bring some pressure. Birch has a one-on-one coverage situation, and he makes the most of it.
And it's 4th down and 1. So Independence can pick up a first down. They're going for the brotherly shove Independence version, needing a yard to make it goal to go. Also looking for the touchdown. Ball was snapped at the 3. They're just pushing Little. There's Jones with the arms up. Of course, Independence would have arms up.
I have no idea what the verdict will be here.
I'm saying he's short. I think Little is short. He is. Needed a yard to make it goal to go.
Still no signal from the officials here.
Is it really 1 yard to go? But I guess so. We haven't had a call yet. It can't not be 5th down. There's the flag. Now what is this? If this is a foul on Independence, it's going to be 4th and 6.
What is this flag for here?
I
This
don't
is
know.
interesting. DJ McFadden is hearing it from the referee right now. Did they have too many men on the field, I wonder?
Birch is over there talking to McFadden. He's part of that discussion.
Oh, this is critical here.
First of all, they never made the call on 4th and 1, and then the flag flew. They never even made the call on whether the 4th down was picked up and converted.
All eyes on the referee right now to sort this out. There's a conference. It's 4th and 1 at the 3.
And also, too, Armand, by the spot, that is a long 1 yard. I'm seeing the yard to gain being 2 yards to go. I'm seeing the actual 4th down being held 2 yards away from the stick.
Yeah, I'm seeing what you're seeing.
Yeah, I'm seeing that's double. That's not a yard. So if that's the case, Little obviously didn't get it. I'm thinking it's 4th and 2, and he definitely didn't get that.
The penalty is on Independence. The referee just signaled that. And I think it was too many men. So it's got to be Butler football here. So it's a turnover on downs. And looks like Butler's going to have the ball, 1st and 10. Yeah, that's it. The offense for Independence is coming off the field. The defense is coming on. And it looks like it's Butler's football after the penalty on the 4th down. But we'll hold on here a second because Justin Little is still on the field. So, okay, now they're going to measure. All right. Stay with us, folks. We'll make sense out of this here. They're going to measure this, which is something I thought they would have done earlier.
That's what, considering it was 4th down, kind of an important play, kind of determines on who may actually.
That's a first down, Corey.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. It's all about the angle.
Or is it? Hold on.
I don't know.
First down.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Wow. Oh, wow. Just
my goodness.
Tip of the football short.
My goodness. First down.
Are they measuring this again?
Are they doing another measurement? They pointed towards Independence first down, not Butler. The crowd was cheering.
Yeah.
But that was not a signal in Butler's favor. That was a signal for Independence for the first down. And Justin Little has not left the field.
No, he's not going anywhere.
That was a first down signal for Independence.
Right.
That was not a first down for Butler, according to the referee.
And normally, if he gets that wrong, he would quickly go back
the other way
and reassert himself. He never pointed back the other way. Talking about the referee.
So they're moving the ball. DJ McFadden is talking.
It's on Independence.
Okay.
Hold. Yep.
So it's a penalty on Independence. 4th down.
Yes.
Okay, we just got some clarification from the public address announcer. Independence did not pick up the first down, so the penalty was on Independence. They didn't get the first down. Butler accepted the penalty, but it didn't matter because they didn't get the first down. This is one of those situations when I really wish the refs had, Mike, the penalty was declined. All right, the penalty was declined. It's one of those situations I really wish the referee was mic'd up.
Yeah.
So let's back up here. It's Independence football. Let me back up. It's Independence ball. It was a 15-yard penalty, evidently. And Independence will keep the ball, and it's 4th down still and very long, as opposed to it being 4th down and 1. It's 4th down and whatever it is now as a result of the Independence penalty. Did I get that right?
Yes. So it's 4th and long.
So it was 4th and 1 at the 3. The ball is now where? About the 18-yard line. So it would have had to be a 15-yard penalty. So it's 4th and like 16 now for Independence's offense, which will stay on the field with 5:50 left. You got that, folks? My goodness. 4th down Independence. They're going to try the field goal here, looks like.
Yeah. Woo! It's going to be a third. Oh, my gosh. You earned your keep right there, Armand. Woo! Sorting through that math problem.
Mercy.
Oh. Bring out your abacus on that. That's right. All right, so here is the field goal try for Copera. He got it. A 35-yard make for Copera to make it 29-23. It's a 6-point game with 5.5 to go.
So you get it down to 1 score at least if you're Independent.
1 score.
Of course, now you desperately need that stop to get the ball back, to get a touchdown and try and win the game.
Okay.
Folks, we apologize for that bit of chaos we just walked you through, but it was as confusing for us as it probably was for you folks watching. We tried to do our best with it.
So Butler will have it, and again, all eyes now to the defense of Independence. They desperately need the ball back. Butler wants to drain this clock as much as they can. Still up by 6.
Remember this, Corey, 1 timeout both ways.
Yep.
So Independence cannot do a whole lot of stopping the clock here. Ideally for them, if you're Independence, you want a 3 and out as quickly as you can get it to get the ball back and give your offense an opportunity to score and try and win the game. Of course, if you're Butler, if you string together a good, powerful drive here, you can start to wear the clock down. And, of course, if you get another score, even if it's a field goal, there's a very good chance that Butler's going to win this game and be the Southwestern 4A champions all by themselves for the year 2023.
The next play will come from Lyric Copera with the kickoff. And again, can Independence ride the defense that's helped them outscore opponents 313-38 over this winning streak? They need it now. Here is the return by Holman. Holman spears his way ahead to around the 28-29 yard line on that return. And here comes Butler. We've got a flag at the end.
Always look for a hold or a block in the back. Oh, my. I said it was unsurprisingly bizarre. That still holds true. Legal blindside block on the return team.
All right, so that will send Butler back with the penalty yardage. So Independence will take that as Butler will move it back some. Official will spot it in its correct position as the crowd gets lively here with 5:25 to go. And now it's a classic situation of drain clock, keep possession of the ball if you're Butler. If you're Independence, with that 1 timeout left that Armand mentioned, remember, DJ McFadden had to use his second to last timeout, his penultimate timeout, right before the clock ran out earlier in the quarter.
Right. 4 words. Jaden Williams, DeQuandre Currents.
Give goes to Jaden Williams. Here he goes. Williams takes a crowd to bring him down. He gets to the 30-yard line on a pickup of 17 yards and a first down.
That offensive line, oh, so dominant up front. Ortho Carolina instant replay. Oh my, what kind of lane did they give Williams just now?
Mark him out to 27. They'll give him 14 yards that time to Williams, but it is a first down. 4:55 to play. Butler to the good by 6. Six on the play clock. Lawrence give to Jaden Williams. Here goes Williams. Taken down by Dallas Brennan for Independence after a healthy gain of 8, second and short.
And Gabe Hernandez is doing some excellent blocking up front, number 74 in red.
Lawrence, handoff. Williams needs 2 yards for a first down. Not going to get it. Dallas Brennan comes in to send Williams back, third down. Or no, they'll give him enough. I guess he got enough forward progress for the first down. Brandon sent him back, but they'll rule that Williams had enough for a first down.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see it either.
It's a first down according to the officials.
Where did he get 2 yards? Okay, 1st and 10 from the 39. What a spot. Lawrence wants the football, gets it, delivers it. Here's a run, and it's a breakaway. Keyshawn Barrino goes 61 yards as Butler looking to put the clamps on the Southwestern 4A crown as Barrino goes the distance on a late October night.
Keyshawn Barrino, 5'9", 180. Ortho Carolina instant replay. What a moment for him. In the biggest of games, Barrino steps up and scores it.
Now that's your elation shot right there if you're Butler, to break through like that, to make this 35-23, and to almost be able to reach out and touch the 4A title right now for Butler.
Are they going for 2? I believe they are. They want a 14-point lead here, Corey.
Yep, you called it, so that's what Butler's going to do. Want to get up by 2 clean scores. Butler's perfect tonight on 2-point conversion tries. The last time they tried it, it went to Jaden Williams, and he was pretty much untouched. Another 2-point conversion would put Butler up by 14. Lawrence, end zone. Flag at the end as Lawrence was looking for Pollard on the 2-point try, but we got a flag.
A lot of contact there between Pollard and Kylan Coleman, the senior cornerback. And that's going to be against Independence and give Butler another chance. Pass interference on the Patriots.
Lawrence turns around, gives it to Williams, looking for the 2-point conversion. He didn't get there. He needed 2 yards. Lawrence stood up, so it stays 35-23 with 3:43 to go. There's your lightning shot for Butler. They lead by 12, and now Independence has to score, and we've got a player down for Butler.
Trying to see that number. It's a lineman. He's on his back right now. This crowd is starting to feel it, though. We're still looking for that number.
Kind of the
Butler and Independence, they split the conference title last year with Charlotte Catholic. No splitting this year. The winner of this game gets the crown outright. Still looking for that number there as they gather around him. Happened on the two-point conversion attempt from Butler.
So this, for the moment, mars the run of momentum here for Butler with a Bulldog down. Once they get this situation cleared up, get that player hopefully to his feet. 3:43 left, and Independence down by 12, but right now all attention going to that injured Butler Bulldog. Butler's ready to kick off, but they've got to clear the way first. Independence still in the huddle.
And if you're Independence, I mean, you need a miracle.
Yeah, you do.
You only have 3 minutes and 43 seconds. You need 2 scores in that amount of time. As you take another look here at the score, 61 yards for Barino on the Ortho Carolina instant replay.
Everyone for Butler is going to get into a kneel down here as the attention still being paid to that Butler player who's down right there at the goal line of the end zone. Saw that player stomping his feet just a second or two ago, clearly still in some pretty major discomfort and pain.
We're encouraged at least by the fact that he's moving.
Yeah.
Agonizing, but he is moving.
This group of athletic trainers around this player hasn't moved over the last couple minutes. Everyone for Butler, helmets off, down into a knee next to the line of kickoff. Now, finally, we get a look. Caleb Skull, the junior offensive lineman, defensive lineman, coming off, and he's largely under his own power.
Very, very good to see. Brian Hill's had some positive comments for Caleb Skull in this game. Coming into this game, I should say. Played tight end last year, and Hill said that playing tight end prepared him for playing that center spot.
Yeah.
So much is asked of a tight end on an offensive line. These cheerleaders are starting to celebrate here as this crowd can start to taste the conference championship. So many things on the line here, playoff seeding and rankings. That stuff is so hard to figure out. So
yeah,
we'll let the other folks during the week sort all that out for you Butler and Independence fans who are watching here. But Butler's 3:43 away from putting on the crown.
Well, that 61-yard rush by Keyshawn Barino for the moment, putting Butler well out in front by 12 with 3:43 to go. Butler ready to kick it away here to Independence, and the Patriots have to get on the move and score quick to have any hope left in this game. It was a one-point game for the longest time. Now 12 points is quite the cavern, and the cavern to traverse. This ball bounces past midfield, still rolling. It's finally picked up here somehow by Independence. There was a flurry of bodies in there before Independence finally got the return man on it. Some players looking down to the ground weren't sure where the ball was. Ultimately, it comes out to Jaden Jones, who has it around the 40. And Independence ready to suit up again here. 3:34 to go for Butler, 10-3 last season. Of course, met Independence and lost that game, a couple of games in before the end of the regular season last year, trying to get the bounce back here in 2023 and keep this winning streak going as well and try to get the 4A title. 3:34 away. Independence has it back with a couple gasps left tonight. First and 10 from the 37. Little. Long continuation of this play by Little, who steps out at the 45. Gets about 8 out of that, second and short.
Yeah, Butler defensive coordinator Trip Stone ain't no dummy. He knows he can sit back now in coverage and try to force Justin Little to make some kind of spectacular play. There was nothing open downfield as Butler was laying out in coverage there across the field. Nothing doing for the Independence offense that time, and Little just had to tuck it. But that won't get it done with 3:28 left, and you're needing 2 scores, down 35-23.
Scramble of 7 by Little, 2nd and 3 at the 45. Little drops, now steps up. Little can't get away from the Butler pressure. 2 in to get him. Darling and Maddox Williams, 3rd down. They'll give Little just enough for a 1st down. Despite the fact that Little was taken down, he had just enough right at that spot for the 1st. So 2 yards shy of midfield for Independence. 1st and 10 from there, 48. Little. Is that a completed catch? It is to
yep.
Reggie Hoax for a 1st down.
What a great job by Hoax. He had to come back for that ball. Makes a great catch along the sideline. Going to stop the clock, and now they're starting to run with 2:53 and counting.
So a gain of 11 that time. Little to Hoax, 1st and 10 from the 41 of Butler. 2:43 to go. Independence trailing by 12. 1 in motion, that's Will Brown. Little fires it, incomplete. Looking for Crowder, 2nd down.
Independence, it took them a little while there, even after they got set. It took them a while to get the play going. So they're going to need to move with much more alacrity and faster than that if they want to try to get 2 scores here in the last 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, time is of the essence. I mean, we're talking about 2:31 to go, a timeout left per side, but most importantly, 1 timeout left for Independence, and down by 12. You need to score quick. Little, that one tipped, and that could have been the one that sealed the game. Curtis Piers was in there shadowing Crowder. Piers almost had it, 3rd down.
Yeah, he was ready to run to Salisbury.
Right.
He was ready to take off, just didn't have it. He's had a good night though.
3rd and 10 in 4-down territory, of course, trailing by 12. So Butler trying to hold for 2 more downs and get the football back. Little, plenty of time. Little goes deep, looking for Crowder. Crowder actually turned around and had some room. He doubled around Phil Harris. That's kind of like last night with Chris Godwin. If the same situation when Godwin almost caught the Hail Mary last night on Thursday Night Football, in that case, if Crowder is able to spin just a second earlier, maybe he lays out and catches that.
One of the few times we've really seen Justin Little tonight just air it out, and I tell you, that was close. Crowder just could not get under it. Here's 4th down and pretty much the ball game. But first, a timeout by Butler. That's their final timeout with 2:18 left.
Yeah, Brian Hales and the coaching staff just wants to make sure everything is set. 4th and 10 coming up in the play. Independence needs 10 yards to keep their drive. And possible title chance is still alive, down by 12, 2:18 to go.
And naturally, in this wacky game, the play of the game is a blocked extra point.
Yeah.
Change the game.
Change the game totally.
Nothing is the same after that play.
Right.
Nothing. Because even after Independence scores, 21-19, will they go for 2? After the Jade Jones touchdown, they don't. They kick an extra point. 21-20 is the score. And Butler is able to start pulling away a bit from that point. But once again, we got some lights just went out here in the stadium. Because what else wacky could happen in this game here? But it all goes back to a blocked extra point and a decision by DJ McFadden to not go for 2. Butler, and how about the decision by Brian Hales? 21-20. They score the touchdown. The Quandre Currents has the touchdown catch. And what do they do up 27-20?
Exactly.
They go for 2, and they get the 2-point conversion with Jaden Williams, making it 29-20. And that really sort of started creating some distance for Butler.
No, it's hard to believe right now in a 12-point game that you'd go back and you'd talk about 2-point conversions or a missed extra point. And of course, in the case of Independence, an extra point that was blocked. But yes, that continued to be the difference in this game until Butler answered it by that bold move of going for 2 to go up by 9. And then, of course, with that Keyshawn Barrino runaway touchdown, that really almost put this game pretty much out of reach. But now, of course, Armand, we've got a lack of lights because the far side to our left pylon has gone completely out.
Yeah, there are a couple of lights standing on the Independent side that are out. Can't tell what's happening on the Butler side because we're sitting on that side.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they figure out here. Referee is talking with head coach Brian Hills, and this is when ADs and administrators start getting to work.
Yep, was it Friday night at Candlestick Park?
Yeah, Friday Night Lights, they say. Friday Night Lights out in this case.
Right.
What a wacky game, man. Muffed punts, interceptions, penalties galore, block kicks. All of it in one night.
This is like the end of Legend of Bagger Vance. You got the one car over there with the light on. It's giving just enough light. You want to try to do, like the final hole of that legendary match at the end of Bagger Vance. Bring all the cars around to light the way. Let Matt Damon make a putt. Oh man. Isn't this something as well, Armand? As again, we wrap up our second season here on the NFHS network, but you remember, of course, our finale last year, how crazy in a different way that game was. I don't know what it is with season finales.
What is it, man? I mean, they don't want us to leave, evidently.
That's what it is. Extending the stay. Extended stay America.
DJ McFadden is walking over with the referee towards the Butler side. I don't know if they're going to have a shared coaches conversation here to discuss this. Of course, DJ McFadden used to be on the Butler staff a few years ago.
This is one good-natured meeting right here.
Don't you love it?
Yeah, everybody's smiling, laughing.
Let's see what conclusion we reach here. Those lights have not returned.
No.
Corey, did you pay the bill? What did you do?
Yeah, exactly. Am I late? I'll never forget one year. It was just a couple months after I got married, and I remember I was under the gun about stuff like that. I'll never forget my ultimate triumph as a husband. I had paid the light bill, but I remember I was a little late paying it, but I just got the cutoff, and I just paid it, and I knew it, and I didn't say anything to her. We woke up one night, and there were no lights on. She had to go to work, be out the door by 7 a.m., no lights. And, of course, the whole time I'm thinking, she's looking right at me thinking, you didn't pay the bill. I'll never forget it. We waited for like 30 minutes. She called Duke Energy, and Duke said, Talasia, there has been a power outage right on your street. And I just looked and went like this. Come on, give me my W. Give me my win. And it's the only time she's ever looked at me and said, okay, that's yours. I get one. I'll never forget it.
That was your Hail Mary.
That was my Hail Mary. I said, oh, I paid it. That's $70. I paid it.
We're going to play on here, Corey, without some of these lights.
That's right. We're going to go.
4th and 10 Independence, and this is pretty much the game. Down 12 with 2:18 left here.
That's right. Got to pick it back up. It is 4th down. Going for it all. Little. It is caught. Depending on the spot, maybe just short of it. Run out of bounds on the near side was Jones.
He needed the 31. He's like a yard or two short, Corey. I don't think he's there. Yeah.
No.
It's Butler ball.
Turnover on downs. Butler has the football. Clear by 12 with 2:11 to go. And Butler, now they can really start to try on ring sizes here and figure out how that 4A Southwestern ring will look on everyone's fingers for all those 30 seniors who were honored pre-game as well.
With no more, well, Independence has that one timeout left, so they can only stop the clock one more time.
Yeah.
But unless something totally miraculous and mind-blowing happens, Butler's going to be conference champions again.
Lawrence goes ahead, gives this to Jaden Williams, stays up. Williams still up, looking to keep that clock churning. Taken down by Skylar Murray.
Independence does not call the timeout here, and of course, you know, every time the ball is touched by a Butler player, you're going to try stripping it. All those drills that you practice and work on during the week come into play, and if you're Jaden or whoever's got the ball, you'll hold on to it like your life depends on it.
Yeah, hold on to it like the last life preserver on deck. Williams got 5 yards. Under a minute 30 to go. Lawrence gives to Williams, who has a first down as he gets to the 46. And the clock keeps moving, and that is the one there that Butler needed to pretty much count this down.
And let's remember this too, Corey. 30 seniors who are going out here with a win at home. 30 seniors who are going out with a win over their big rivals who beat them last year 27-21. That's got to be a big feeling for them. Butler, one of the best teams in the state, and they proved it tonight with this contest.
Zach Lawrence takes a knee. Everybody starts the celebration. Probably have to take one more knee to finalize this thing, as Butler will finish the 2023 regular season at 9-1. They have not lost since August the 18th. And a 9-game winning streak solidified tonight. That should be the last knee that Lawrence needs to take. And the clock ticks down, the final 20 seconds, and Butler is going to make Matthews, North Carolina, the loudest place on the map tonight in the Tar Heel State.
There you have it, your conference champions in Southwestern 4A. The Butler Bulldogs 35-23. It was downright ugly in some spots, but it was pretty much what we expected. And it came down to some winning plays and some winning coaching decisions in this game by Brian Hales. Congratulations to Butler.
Yeah, the Butler Bulldogs, with their win, they finished the regular season at 9-1 in this rematch about a year later, almost a year to the day. In fact, almost one day from the last time that Independence and Butler met. When it was Independence who won it, Butler comes back in 2023 and gets a 35-23 to final. Obviously, Armand Keyshawn Barino's late run there, a big part of it, but the way this game ebbed and flowed as we look at some highlights.
Yep, here's a touchdown pass from Zach Lawrence, and it's been that kind of a night for Butler. Meanwhile, Independence doing all they can with a run there from Jaden Jones, pounding his way off the right side. As we take a look at some more highlights on the Ortho Carolina instant replay. Handoff there and a touchdown plunge from Jaden Jones. Had 2 scores on the night. And another big run from him, 1,000 yards, and you see why and how he's been able to do that this year as he thunders his way into the end zone for that score. We've seen great matchups and great players all over the field. There's that quick screen and the score on that pass play for Butler as they continue to march. And how about that running there from Marino? Head up, 61 yards, headed to the end zone for the touchdown, which really sealed it, as Butler's going to walk away from this one with a trophy as the champions of Southwestern 4A after taking down their rivals, the Independence Patriots, 35-23.
Well, Butler ends their season at home, their regular season, with a win over Independence and gets that 4A title. And this one wraps up our final game for the Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series, powered by Ortho Carolina. 5 in, 5 out, and done for year 2 with our gang. Thanks to everyone in our audience who tuned in to watch this year's rivalry series. And of course, already looking forward to 2024 and the next installment of the Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series, powered by Ortho Carolina. Of course, as always, Armand, it has been so much fun going through some of the best in high school football in Charlotte right by your side, and looking forward to next year already. And of course, all this could not be done without Jay Bell and everything he does week in and week out, including all the new equipment as well. He is a master of everything when it comes to this, and we couldn't do it without him and his help. And everyone who's pitched in this season. Of course, Corey Steinecker of the NFHS Network for giving us the opportunity and keeping us here. Sal Capretta, everybody back at the NFHS Network, everyone that's a part of our team and making it all possible to keep this journey going. So it has been fun this season, and we wrap up the 2023 slate here on the NFHS Network. Also, Jeremy Ricekind as well, helping us out this season. So that's it. Good night from Matthews, North Carolina, where Butler, 2023 Southwestern 4A champs. See you next year on the NFHS Network for the Charlotte High School Football Rivalry Series, powered by Ortho Carolina. Good night from Matthews, North Carolina.